Hey, what's up, everybody? Episode 91 coming at you right now. Kajiki Toys, Lin's the Rap Boy, Pikmin's Vinyls, Ordinary. What is happening, everybody? DNS, Bootleg Toy Co., Zimico, all hail. Busy show tonight. We got, let's get to the banners. Yowza. Lots going on tonight. So we're going to do assembly required, talking to Matt Casale, the first guy. He will be first on the list tonight. He is the founder and host of Assembly Required. Oh man, then we got Ocular Rhombus, General Porpoise, Cool Cat Toy Co., Death and Strawberries, Vomiting Droids, Plastic Vomit Customs, Pocket Salsa, a giveaway from Phantom Lake. That being said, we should jump in and see what's going on. Sam, what is up, dude? Rambo Kiss, Jazz Wizzy, what's going on? Dylan Clement, Yuck, Stormico, everybody's in the house. All right, we're gonna get started right away. Yeah, group photo, that was awesome, man. First of all, first things first, man. Assembly Required did not disappoint. It was a phenomenal show. Really fun. Besides the show, the actual show itself, just seeing people and meeting people, awesome, man. For me, it's a little bit surreal, interviewing people and just kind of associating with people. And then you see them in real life, and it's just it's a whole different experience, man. It was very cool. So thank you everybody that came out to the show. It was super awesome. We're going to go ahead and get started, man. I'm looking at Matt, and it looks like he's almost ready. So we'll almost bring you in, Matt. You ready to go? Awesome, dude. Thank you. I'm going to bring you in right now, buddy. There he is.
How's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Are you able to take a breath yet, or what?
Yeah, it's surprising because this year I was actually able to go into this show pretty relaxed. I guess it took 6 years, but I was probably the easiest I took it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, is so I think as you go on and year 3, 4, 5, 6, man, is that something that you're finding maybe a little bit from year to year, is that it's getting easier and easier?
Yeah,
Everything's
yeah.
just falling into place as it goes.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be hiccups. There's always going to be challenges. There's always going to be hurdles. But and then we had a couple huge ones going into this year. Obviously with TL, not being present and having
Sure.
cancer and not being able to DJ the event. So, thankfully, Hip Hop Toys and Remix Plethora came up with that idea to do that. But I other than that, I just wasn't nervous this year. Usually I'm going into it, I'm nervous that something's gonna go wrong, but this year, it was just like a normal day.
It's a very mellow show, man. You know what I mean? It's like if you go to something that's very like over the top, like Designer Con, obviously there's just thousands and thousands of people there, but it almost seems chaotic, right? As you're trying to get
Yeah,
in, and then everybody's setting up, and then it's just very busy with a lot of people. Um, Assembly Required is not like that, man. It's a nice setup. You get in there, and then everybody's chill, and it's congratulations, dude. For I didn't even say that
thank you.
first of all. That was a freaking phenomenal show, dude. That was worth every freaking penny of it. All the time invested in it. Very much
Thank
worth
you.
it.
Thank you. I'm pretty damn proud of this show.
Yeah,
How can you not be? It's a beautiful thing, and
yeah,
like I've said before, and I don't know if I said it last time I was on your show, but I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the artists. I appreciate that. You know, there's such an amazing vibe to this event in this space, and everyone appreciates it so much that it's overwhelming. It's amazing to be able to create something that means so much to other people.
yeah, absolutely, dude. And you know what's cool is that you see people come in. I mean, there were people coming in from everywhere. Even just everybody that's going to be on the show tonight. I don't think one of these artists was local. But to go in there, and Asheville's a beautiful city. Besides it being freaking cold as heck, man. I'm from California. That is some biting cold there, man. I'll
that
tell you,
was
dude.
that was not cold. That was not cold. That was like really mild for our winter.
I was
You're,
shivering, my
you're
man.
lucky it wasn't snowing.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding. So what does next year look like, man? So are we on for next year? Have you even began to think about that yet?
I have. I'm always thinking about the next year in the back of my mind. I've been in discussions with Grey Eagle for quite some time about the possibility of future contracts.
Mm,
They weren't comfortable with drawing up so many future contracts, at one time. So we're still having a discussion. And quite honestly, I never rest, and I always want to have something in my back pocket. So I'm looking at other venues for the possibilities. I will
yeah,
continue to always be looking at other venues for possibilities because, like we talked about in the last show, if we're going to grow, we've got to be able to do it in a space that will be able to house us. And obviously, from what you've experienced last couple of years at Great Eagle, there's not much growth we could do in that space. We're
yeah,
pretty restricted by the walls and the ceiling. So
yeah, yeah,
I always got one eye open at additional spaces to see, you know, what future years might look like and what might be available to us.
yeah. Awesome, man. What do you think? If you had to name a couple highlights from the show this year, man, what are a couple things besides it being just a smoother show all around? What are some highlights for you from the show from this year?
I mean, quite honestly, the highlights are always the halls,
Yeah,
bringing away all that good stuff. I really like uh, meeting new people. I really like hanging out with new artists. This year, quite honestly, one of the highlights was on Monday after the show. I met up with Cherry Moth Cake,
mm,
and we played their card game because we didn't get an opportunity to play the card game while we were there.
yeah,
And I picked up a couple of their games. They made some
nice.
some I guess I don't know what you call them, holograms, but yeah, we played the game the next morning, and it was
Nice.
so cool.
Yeah, I
That
did
that's
see that
definitely a
game.
highlight.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Do you got any of your grabs there with you, man? Or are there any grabs that
Yeah,
you had the outstanding
yeah,
ones?
yeah.
Yeah, what do you got?
Strangely, and I think I figured out how to reverse the camera last time I was on it. I'm gonna do that again. Yeah. Oh, no, that's my face. Facing back. Oh yeah, look at that. There we go.
You go.
Um, so one of the interesting discoveries. So I'm going to start over here because one of the interesting discoveries was one of the managers at Great Eagle actually worked for Waxworks Records,
Oh wow. Okay.
and and I was so excited because if you've ever seen Waxworks Records made online, but they do these amazing vinyls. The
Mm,
records are pressed with amazing colors, and it
wow.
kind of reminds me of some of the colors that some of the artists put in the resin. But that was definitely a discovery that you I would not have expected.
Yeah.
And she gave me this whole bag of these Waxwork records. So that was kind of a surprise that I didn't know I was going to be walking away with that. But
Yeah. Those are beautiful.
obviously, I got some general purpose there. I got another one of these because I actually got one from a friend of mine. I already owned one of these guys, so I wanted to get another one.
Cool. Very nice.
Couldn't walk away without one of these guys from Cool Cat. You know, I was
Oh
I wanted to make sure I got a hold of one before they sold
yeah.
out. That's
Nice.
a
That's a beauty too, man. I love those
Yeah,
colors.
yeah. Um, these guys over here. This is I wonder if I can go sideways. These guys from Ocula Rhombus. Um,
Mm. Oh yeah, dude. We got Ocular Rhombus coming on next, dude. That dude
yeah,
was something else, man.
yeah. Every single piece is an original. That was just amazing. He was probably cracking up because I would just sit in front of his table, just staring at him, be like, "Oh, I want that one. Oh, no, 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 I want that
Yeah,
one."
right.
And
And how
and
do you
so so
on, man?
so I didn't know how to pick it, so
Yeah.
I had to involve my wife in that, and ended up going going with these guys.
Nice.
Um, this one actually is a highlight. This one here,
Oh
um,
boy, I saw that one.
yeah, you were there. You were
Yeah.
there. I had the black light on it. I don't remember the set that General Porpoise said this was from, but it was definitely from Europe, and it's an
Yes.
action figure that I'd never seen before. So I was like, dude, tell me about this character. Tell me about this thing. What is this?
Yeah.
And he said it was a Grail piece that he had been looking at for a long time, trying to find one, and he finally found one. And of course, what he do is take it apart and mold it. But he got it back together apparently, from what I hear, and he won.
Yeah.
But I'd never seen anything like it. I was like, you know what, I could look at a table, I could usually tell where the parts came from, what the pieces are, but this one was all new.
Yeah, man, that one is we had been talking about that one for a while because Healy Made had came out with a piece recently. I'd say within the last maybe 6 to 8 months or so. That was another character from that set. And
Really?
yeah, it's a set from overseas, but they all have these really, you can tell when they're together, they're a set, man. But the way, General Porpoise did his with the different colors, and then yours with just kind of the solid UV colors, man, that was, um,
Right.
that's a beauty of a piece, dude. Nice one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you were standing there. I guess you were probably live at the time when I was lighting that thing up. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So Porpoise says he did Skyman is what that was, and that's another figure
Guy
that's,
Man. Right,
yeah,
right.
it's a different pose where he's actually holding like a gun, but yeah, super cool, man. So next year you're looking to possibly expand next year, but there's definitely a show next year.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not going to stop anytime soon.
Well,
Yeah,
that's good to hear.
yeah, yeah. We'll keep going. As long as I can keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's too beautiful of a thing to just not do. It means so much to so many people. I would really have to be in uh, some bad shape to not do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, what do you think for this year, man? Do you come across kind of the same challenges every year? I know you said it's getting easier, but if you could pick one challenge for this year, what do you think your biggest challenge was to make this thing happen?
Well, I would definitely say that not having TL was one of the biggest hurdles.
Yeah.
Um, when he told me that when he went into hospice, at that moment, of course, I thought, oh my gosh, because he at the time he was in hospice, so at the time there was not a good outlook. So I was like, oh my
Sure.
gosh, I didn't even know how to take that. But
Yeah.
eventually we got over those hurdles with some support from Asheville community and Asheville FM. But other than that, I think the biggest hurdle for me is just getting over the size of the space annually.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always want to give people more space, but I also want to have as many as I can fit into that room. And I feel like I've gotten really good feedback about the intimacy of that space. But
Yeah.
someday, I'll be able to give people more space, and I'm probably the one that's most self-conscious about that.
Yeah, and even though it's a smaller space, man, it's a smaller space full of 32 legit super
Yeah,
good tables. Um,
yeah,
and it's just, even though it's a small space, man, you could really spend, I think I kind of went through the live pretty quick, and I think it still ended up being almost 50 minutes. And that was just kind of breezing through everybody's table. But um, yeah, man, it's and your DJ that you had in there, I can't remember if it was different DJs coming in and out, but whoever was doing the music out there, man, great job. They did. I mean,
cool.
it was solid, man. It was still had a real nice ambiance, a real nice vibe to it. It was cool.
That's good to hear. I appreciate that feedback.
Yeah.
That's definitely, he was new to the event. DJ Automatics. He
Mm.
hosts Asheville FM's Outer Limits on Thursday nights at midnight, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but yeah, he did a great job. He jumped in, head first, and we just started tossing around ideas, and I just started sending him like old toy commercials and old, cartoon themes, and I was like, dude, just have fun with all this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to play any of this, and I just want you to be inspired and have a good time. Have fun.
Yeah. That was cool, man, and you could tell he definitely did. There was definitely
Yeah,
some 8-bit music going on in there. That was pretty cool.
yeah, he was
Um,
cool.
man, what else? If you had to wrap up that show in maybe just a couple sentences, man, lay it on me. What's your final take from the show?
Well, quite honestly, I felt bad. When I got up there on the stage and I started thanking everybody, one of the people that I left off of the in-person thank yous was Hip Hop Toys and Remakes
Mm,
Plethora for the DL figure. When you get up there and you're just thanking people and it's like going to the Oscars, man. You're gonna forget to
yeah,
thank someone. And I dropped the ball on that, and I recognized it like the day after, and I texted him. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry, man. I dropped the ball on that, man. I'll make it up to you." I Lee and I go back, and he had no hard feelings, but I felt really bad about it. But the final take is it was a humongous success, and
yeah,
everybody had a good time. And to just sit back and watch the videos and hear the feedback online and people talking about the show and how much they loved it, that fuels my heart because I want to do it again and again. As long as it's cyclical, it comes back. You have to put in
yeah,
the energy, put it into that room. Everybody gets inspired. They walk away. They talk about it. That inspires me to keep going.
yeah. Um, exactly, dude. I think, and that's what's cool about it is that when you see the success of it, it just kind of makes you want to do even more and go
Yeah,
back and talk to more people. And that's exactly it, dude. I mean, you interview people and you see people online all the time, and then um, you get in front of them and you want to hang out with everybody. You know what I mean? You want to,
that you know what I found out after the show that there were so many other artists that I follow that I
yeah,
didn't know were at the show. I was pissed. I was like, dude, look who was there. I was like, turning to my wife, I'm like, oh, see this guy? He was there. I didn't know he was there. Why didn't you say hi to me? And then I saw the money shot of all everybody together. I'm like, oh man, I want to be in the money shot.
yeah. Oh man, but trying to hang out with everybody that's probably one
It's
of the most
impossible.
it's one of the most difficult things, man. I mean, you
Yeah,
only
I
have
know. I know.
a short amount of time. For me, Friday is kind of a wash because I got in so freaking late, and so it's basically Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, trying to get the heck out of there. But
Yeah,
dude,
that's why we do the kickoff party. Just so we could
yeah,
just get that time in, get it in, get some quality time
yeah,
before
that
we.
was phenomenal, dude. And you know what? And this is for the last 2 years now. I forgot to do this. Taking pictures at the pre-party. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah,
so many
yeah,
people in there. It's like you walk into that place, and you just start seeing artist after artist, and it's such brain overload. You know what, dude? I took 0 pictures while I was out there, not one. I did a 15-minute live, but I did not take one picture, man. I'm so ashamed of that, but, um
it's all right. It's all right, man. There was some like we walked into that the kickoff party, and there was definitely some faces that I did not know. And then after that, I was talking to some people, and I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't realize that." There was some old heads there.
yeah.
There was some old heads there. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was good to see a lot of those tables back too. I know that there was definitely some new people out there, which is always really cool to see. But there was also a bunch of tables there that I had seen last year, um, and they all look great, man. Everybody had
Yeah.
great looking tables, man. Everybody seemed super enthusiastic and very positive about the show.
Yeah,
Um,
and you asked me one of the biggest takeaways is. I think one of the biggest takeaways always is the new artists that haven't been at the show before.
yeah,
Not that I don't love each and every one of them. The recurring artists know how much I appreciate them. We have conversations, but having the new artists there, like the vomits. My
yeah,
son wanted me to put the vomiting droid and the plastic vomit toys together because that was going to be the vomit area.
yeah.
But there were there was just a lot. There were a lot of new faces and new,
Yeah,
Kajiki, Cage Key. How's that pronounced?
Kajiki.
Kajiki,
Yeah,
Kajiki, meeting Kajiki for the first time. That was really cool. And like I said, the vomits and Death and Strawberries, first
yeah,
time at the event. It's
yeah,
really, really great and Pocket Salsa,
yeah,
a great artist, and and I know that when these artists are around the other artists, they're inspired. it raises the bar because they're seeing what everybody else is doing. They're like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I see what you're doing now. I wanna raise the bar. I want to do that. I want to like try to do something new. And
Right.
so I really enjoy having the new artists there because it just, again, the creativity is cyclical. It's an echo chamber.
Yeah, and I think the more our new artists that come in, man, I think that's even more and more people that want to come back for the following year, and it's going to make that if you decide to go that route or even a bigger venue, dude, I don't think you'll have any problem at all filling that thing up. Um,
Yeah, I see the chat blowing up, and I'm pretty sure Tone Twisted Tiger, you're one of the ones that was there. You were there, weren't you?
he
You
was.
were. You next time say hi.
First dude I saw when I walked in, man, and that one, and I didn't realize maybe I skipped it somewhere or just it left my brain, which is very possible. But I didn't know he was going to be there, and I walk in, and it's like, bam, there's Tone Twisted Tiger, and great dude, man. I've been chatting with him for the last few years, and that's a good example of just that whole experience kind of being surreal. And so you're kind of to take in that you're meeting this person in person, but then you're also seeing all this other stuff around. So it's extremely overwhelming, man, but it's in the possible. um Before I kick you out of here, man, I got a whole list of artists coming
Yeah.
in to blow up this show. Anything else you want to get out there?
No, I just I appreciate you for doing this show. Watching you guys last year. I just you guys were so excited to be in that room with all these artists that it was really cool to be able to come on the show this year in the lead up to and do this wrap up show. And it's only
Absolutely.
I see great things in the future.
Absolutely, dude. And we will do it again next year. 100%,
Awesome.
man. I am already looking forward to it. I got my calendar marked for February. If you decide to do it
Cool.
in February again,
Yeah, we're gonna be aiming for the first weekend of February.
awesome. Awesome, man. Well, dude, thanks for coming in.
Sure.
Congrats again on the
Thank you.
successful show. And
Thank
again,
you.
looking forward to it next year. Big time, man. Round of applause. All right,
Thanks
dude.
a lot, man. Take
All
care.
right. Boom. Great show. Great promoter. Boom. We're gonna just keep on moving, man. I got Ocular Rhombus sitting right here. What is up, my
Ah,
guy?
it is I.
I didn't realize, dude, that once I click on it, like it's now. You
It's
know what I mean? The other thing that I didn't realize is that when people are sitting in the waiting room,
mhm.
I think I can see them and vice versa. And I didn't know that until I said, I don't know if Matt's ready. And then he looked at the camera and I seen he's in the waiting room. I'm like, oh shit, he can actually hear me right now. So anyways, what's up, dude?
I was doing a puppet show with a Tone Twisted Tiger head.
Those are great, dude. I can't
You were
believe
the only one who could see it.
Yeah, that's funny. I can't believe he was just handing those things out, dude. Those
Ye
are awesome. Those are
I can't wait to paint this thing.
yeah. So he's got these tiger masks that fit nice and tight over a 5.5 head. They're really cool. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
So, dude, I think visually, number one, congrats on that show, dude. I think
Thank
visually,
you.
I think your booth was probably my favorite. And
Really?
I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that because it is so overwhelming. You had basically about 200 one-offs.
Yeah.
And so, like Matt was saying, man, to get in front of your booth and to look at it, I don't know how you choose just one. I mean,
He
I
was
did, but it's not easy.
Yeah, he was standing there for like a while trying to pick ones. And finally I was like, "Hey, like pick two because I'll give you buy one and I'll give you another one for free because like you put on the show and I had such a great time. I wanted to make sure that he came away with something from my booth that he really liked." So,
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I forgot to put your
oh, that's all right.
ticker up here. Let me see. Bam. There we go. Now we're professional. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Little
Um,
kicker.
so AR24 pieces, you got some stuff on sale now in your
Yeah.
store. You use code AR2024 and you
Mhm.
get 10% off at checkout.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the whole order, whether it's an AR piece or not, like anything you want to buy on the site. So,
nice. That's awesome, man. And I tried to count the figures before we came on. I think there's almost 60 figures in there.
on the
Really
store,
in your store, yeah.
there's probably over 100. There might just be 60 showing on the front page, but there's like good deal of stuff on there.
I
'Cause
did
it's
not
everything that
even.
was already there, plus everything that I made active so I could sell it on site.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I only clicked that front page, man. So, dude, what's your first show? Now, is this your first in-person show, or is this just your first assembly required?
This is my first in-person show.
Oh, dude, you killed it, man.
Thanks.
That was so freaking awesome, especially for your first show. I mean, your displays were super sick, dude. What do you think was your biggest challenge going out to assembly required this year for the first time?
Um, well, I mean, it was a long trip, but we made a fun trip of it. My partner and I. So, uh, like that wasn't. I mean, I guess it wasn't really a challenge, but just like I was worried the table was going to look overwhelming.
Yeah,
And it kind of did. Like there was a lot, uh, but I overall I'm satisfied with how it turned out. As far as what I was able to represent there, and the 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 niche of the indie toy community that I occupy, and the fact that like he wanted me to be there, as to represent that was really cool. Um,
yeah, dude. That was gosh, dude. You know what's crazy to me too, man, is you had what, 2 hours to set up? Was that
yeah.
right? Um, that's a lot of setting up to do, man, in 2 hours.
So I had built the setup in here. I built it twice beforehand, just a mock-up of it to see how I wanted everything to get laid out. And I had taken pictures of it, but I really just kind of ended up memorizing it.
Yeah,
And so I built it here, and then I was like, all right, I know what I want it to look like. And so when I got there, we just like put it up because it was like, oh, I know what it looks like already. I moved some stuff around, but it
yeah,
more or less like the frame of it was the same.
yeah. And you guys drove in, right? You drove. What did
Yes,
you say? It was like 13 hours for you to drive
13
from
and
Rhode
a half
Island?
hours from Rhode Island. But I had like the amount of stuff that we had, like there was no way I could fly it there.
Yeah,
Like I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it. Like, and if hopefully I can come back and do the show, because I would absolutely do the show again next year. I'll do the same thing. I'll make the drive
yeah,
because it was fun, and like it just the security of knowing all my stuff is good. Uh, made my peace of mind better.
exactly, dude. And you know what, man? That's something that I never took into consideration is when the artists are coming out there, getting your supplies there in one piece, and so you're not, gluing stuff together in your room the night
Yeah.
before the show.
And I
Um,
and I it's amazing because the way that I had everything set up, like stuff kind of fell down occasionally.
yeah,
Um, I only one piece broke the entire weekend, and it was while we were cleaning up, and I was like, oh,
not bad,
not bad at
not
all.
bad, man. For one break out of 200 pieces, that's pretty daggone good.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
um, and I needed the room driving back for all the things that I bought, so I was glad that I had a car.
yeah, yeah, no kidding, man. What was your biggest positive takeaway, man? When you think back on AR-24, what's going to be your best memory of AR-24?
Just meeting everybody and like the community that like that we've built, and like seeing these people in person,
Yeah,
meeting Pocket Salsa and General Porpoise and Cool Cat and Vomiting Droids and everybody, like everybody who I met,
yeah.
meeting them in person for the first time, hanging out with people, like that's like irreplaceable. Like that was so cool.
Yeah, it really is, man. And that's, we got to talking about that when we were having dinner that last night,
Hmm.
and just kind of talking about, what you can take away from assembly required as an artist. And what it came down to was, yeah, I mean, the money's an issue, right? If you're making your money back or if
Sure.
you're bringing money, but I think a good way to think of it is it's a vacation where you're going to meet and hang out with a lot of your friends.
Mhm.
And you're gonna, hopefully make some of your money back for whatever you put out for your vacation. But it was cool, man. Like I said, dude, your table was just off the charts, dude.
Thanks.
So definitely going back. You got any plans for shows in between now and then?
I don't have any plans for shows now and then. I know there were some rumors about some new shows being developed.
Yeah.
Um, I'd be happy to participate in any of that.
Yeah.
But definitely want to try and do Assembly Required again next year, whether it's larger or the same size. I loved how curated it was.
Yeah.
Like the fact that like basically everybody there is doing something different, even if there's, 2 or 3 vinyl artists, they're all doing completely different kinds of vinyl. Like the resin makers are doing different stuff. General Porpoise is not Resin Blood, is not Pocket Salsa.
Sure.
And it's really cool because it represented all the different corners and pockets of the community pretty well.
Yeah.
Which was cool. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to do more shows. If the success of this one is any indication to me, then I absolutely could.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I think what's funny is when you get a bunch of people in the same place who are into this stuff and who are into shows and stuff, it's funny to see, the conversations happen about, man, maybe we could do this in some other part of the country. And you're right, dude. Those conversations were going all over the place, and that was really cool to see. Final take on the show, man. I'm going to bring in General Porpoise here in a minute, but if you could wrap it up, dude, in a sentence or two, what do you got?
It was just really, really, really good time. It was, I got to post some of the pictures that Bree took because it was so cool. And seeing everybody was awesome. Being there was great. It's a great town. I bought way too many things and I'm
dude,
not even mad about it.
Your haul was epic, dude. I'm looking through your pictures and I'm just like, there it is.
I got to showcase the mammoth because
God, the
this
yellow
thing,
tusks, dude.
it's so good.
You know what's funny is I talked to probably 5 different people about that exact piece, and we all said the same thing. Man, those yellow tusks, dude.
I walked over to his table with my black light, and I was like, "Oh, this is really cool." And then I shined a light on it, and I was like, "I need this now."
Yeah, that's
I must
awesome, dude.
have it.
What a score, dude. What a great freaking piece.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, dude.
problem.
Congrats on that show. It was
Thank you.
freaking thrill to meet you in person, man. I cannot wait to hang out again next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude, it was super fun. And again, dude, congrats. I mean, for your first show, dude, I didn't realize it was your first show in general, and you killed it, dude. Like I said, I think, for me personally, visually, your table was the shit, dude. It was the best one out there, as you know. So anyways, dude, congrats again, man. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Thanks.
We'll be talking soon for sure. And also, everybody hit up that store. I've got the ticker running down there at the bottom. Make sure that you put in the AR2024 at the checkout for any purchase that you have on Ocular Rhombus' site. It's 10% off. Over 50 figures. Scratch that. That's probably over 100 figures in the shop. I was wrong. I don't want to cheat you out any figures there, but cool, man. Thank you for coming on, dude. I really appreciate it, Ernie.
Yep.
Right on. Take it easy, man.
Yeah.
Boom. I'm telling you what, man. I don't know if anybody saw any. If you look into live, you can see Ernie's table, and it was the table that was closest to the cantina where the food was. But what an amazing table, man! I kid you not, 200 one-off pieces. When you look at that visually, it is just massive, massive eye candy. It was a great table. All right, moving on now. Yeah, sit down, buddy. I see you in there. You're next. Sit down. Have a seat. Okay, let's get the porpoise on there.
Busted.
I saw you sneaking away. What are you doing?
I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know.
Dude, you know
Uh,
what, man? What's cool? I can see Jason and Plastic Vomit in the waiting room too, man. He's got his Pure Resin Death on, man. We are Team Pure Resin Death or Total Resin
dude,
Death tonight. You know what was really cool? I was telling Aaron that on my way, I had a couple flights to get home, man. They took me on a fantastic voyage, and I was going from Asheville to St. Louis, and there was, just enough empty seats to where it's not full. Uh, Luckily for me, when you sit there with a Total Resin Death hat on, nobody wants to sit next to
nobody wants to
you.
sit near you.
That is the best. That is the best. So
No,
what's
I
up,
think
man?
this
Another
this has been new.
phenomenal table.
So
Another
yeah,
phenomenal table this year.
it was a lot of work, but I think it was a lot of work, and it was worth putting that work in because I questioned a lot of things as I do, and I like it was very different than last year. Like last year, I did like a put one of everything out, and then as they sold, I'd kind of replace it, and so it always kind of looked the same. And this year with the grid wall and hanging stuff with the card backs and stuff, which was also a new thing for me.
Yeah.
And so gonna have to keep it. I just got a notification that this battery's dying down, so if it
Okay.
dies, I'll just have to switch to the other camera,
Okay.
the camera mic. Um, but yeah, it was great. I am absolutely blown away with the amount of support I got from people. Um, like you don't get used to it, and I don't ever want to get used to it because then you take things for granted, and we shouldn't take any of this for granted because we are doing weird things, and if people like what we do, we should be grateful for it. And so yeah,
Yeah, dude, that
it
was
was great.
some of the pieces that you had there, man. Now you had some stuff on there that I had never seen before. Um,
Yeah, like
yes.
this guy. Um, I don't know if this is gonna show, but you can kind of see in there.
Yeah.
This has been a project I've been working on for a long time,
Wow.
and there's still some stuff, further phases to go with it, but yeah, this was a fun project, and it used so much silicone and actually not a whole lot of resin. Like this is
Yeah.
actually not that much, but
Yeah.
god damn the silicone. More silicone for this project than anything I've worked on so far.
Yeah.
Um, and um, this bad boy.
Oh, dude.
Um,
Yeah, I got that running on the
there's
ticker.
one of these left, and so this is the last cube left, but there will be more as I make more garbage. one, one man's trash is another man's treasure, as they say. I don't like throwing things out, so the two things like it's always save them for Barrio Boba's Island of Miscast Toys
Yeah.
every end of the year, and then with this cube mold, now I can kind of do some other things with my miscasts because I just can't bring myself to throw them out. Like we make a lot of trash doing this stuff, and it kind of eats at me a little bit, and so I want to do something with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
Um,
but yeah, the
I
show
don't
was
want to
great.
ruin
Go
I don't
ahead.
want to ruin the surprise or anything, man, but you had you kind of gifted the show a gelatinous cube. So don't get
Did
your
so
hopes up, everybody, on winning one.
somebody will get one of those. Sorry that you're gonna have to ship it.
You know what's funny, man? I'm packing all my stuff to come home, and I'm like trying to square everything away, and I'm just like, hold on, let's put this cube in the corner first because this is going to be a nice little base piece over here. But
um,
I got home just fine, dude, and they're
and then
excellent. What do you
and
think
then
for you
this.
was? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
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 dude.
I was just gonna show this off
Oh,
quickly because Ocular was just on. Like
I saw you.
every single piece of his is totally unique, like nothing else he makes, like nothing else, like no one else makes.
Right.
Everything is a totally unique piece of art, and you're always finding something new to just sort of blow your brains out.
Yeah. Um, I saw your post on that piece, man, and I looked. I don't even know if I saw that piece there. I don't know if you snagged it before I saw it or what. But it's
No, I'll tell you how I got it was I had sort of looked at it. I actually didn't get a lot of time to go around. Um, just that's the way things shook out.
yeah,
But towards the end of the show, Ernie came by and was just like, I think this needs to live with you. That it like it it's the fly it's this I forget what figure it is. Um, somebody probably could fill us in on that. Um, but it's just like plus the fact that I was also driving. So it's this large, very delicate thing that it's like, okay, we could get it home safer. But oh yeah, Sauron, the other Sauron.
mm,
The not the non Lord of the Rings Sauron. um but yeah, and I was just blown away and it's just fantastic.
yeah, dude. It's it really is. Now this is your second time at Assembly Required. Is that right?
Yes,
Second time.
twice.
What do you think was the biggest difference from last year compared to this year for you as a presenter?
Um it's hard it's a little hard to say because last AR was the first time I had taken this stuff out anywhere.
Wow.
Um
Okay.
and so I did AR last year, I did 5 points over the summer, and then this past AR, and this this was very smooth,
Yeah.
just start to finish. It was super super smooth, um, and in no small part to how much work Matt put in to um, just there's no loose ends. It was all just nice little bow
Yeah.
tied on top of everything, and like there wasn't a single hitch, there wasn't a single issue that had to be dealt with. It was just go set up your table, and it ran like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
um, and so that was not this is not saying that last year wasn't smooth. It was just that it was very very smooth, and so that was a big difference. Maybe having a little bit under my belt made a bit of a difference, that like in general it seemed
Yeah.
like just generally a smoother experience. And I, for me anyway, the way I set up my booth this time around also made a big difference, where um, it made it easier for me to not be like, oh, all right, this clever girl sold, oh, I got to put out another one. Where
Mm,
it's like they all the ones that I had were hanging on a peg, and if they weren't there, they weren't there. So then I just knew that there wasn't anything hiding in a box or this and that. And
yeah.
there's there's definite value to doing it that other way, but this is just has its own ups and downs of doing it in these different ways. And so I think I'll stick with this way for a little while. Um, as long as I can figure out how to get those grates around. Was talking to Death and Strawberries. We were saying that, oh, maybe we have to have a East Coast supply and a West Coast supply, that
Yeah.
and then one person going to the shows will bring a bunch of grates for people,
Yeah.
and
There you go.
all you have to bring is your product and some hooks. So we'll see.
Dude, that was a great addition to your booth, man. And I think for accessibility, even the rounders, I'm going to ask Plastic Vomit about theirs because they had a really good one, man. And that thing was just jam
Oh
packed with
yeah.
figures. Eddie had a good one over at his table, just a little rounder that you can just kind of
Hmm.
thumb through and really,
It
but
helps
yeah,
all those different ways. It's like they help you maximize your use of the space, where you can
yeah,
go up, you can spin things around, have things on the backside, and so um, you're just always full.
yeah,
And but I do think that the biggest um, personal opinion anyway, the biggest thing that I think helps is going up.
Yeah,
Is if you can, because obviously if someone's
sure.
flying in, like if I went out to a show on the West Coast, I wouldn't be able to do it, and so you just can't do it. But
Yeah.
I think going up, it helps on many fronts. It's like somebody's at the table and there's just more that they can see. They can see your table from a little farther away. Um, all those little things, but obviously, yeah, you can't always do it. So
Yeah,
um,
and I think that's a good tip there, man. Is that you got to go vertical, right? Because it is table to table, end to end, on your left and your right. And you don't want to intrude on anybody else's space, but going vertical, man, that yeah, I think you got plenty of room there. Um, and the way you did it, dude, man. See, dude, I want to dive into your freaking card backs and that little tidbit that you told me. We can't do it now, but I mean, we probably
I can at
could.
least I can just show it off, like
Yes. And
just
okay, so
like
just give me the thing on that. Just
so it's the same card for every single piece. There's literally nothing different about it. Um, it's just I wanted something that would help a figure just sort of because like when there's nothing behind it, I don't know.
right.
It's just that really basic thing of having something behind it that draws attention to it, and but doesn't detract from it. Um, and then yeah, it's just got website, Instagram on there, some silly gobbledygook on the back,
But the
and
design,
I can
where
write. Oh, go ahead.
where did the design come from? Because I think that's the kicker for the whole thing.
Um, I don't have it pulled up. I should make a post about it, but use some Google Foo to search out 3M general purpose adhesive. It's
There you
a
go.
just very generic looking can of spray adhesive. So it's just 3M general purpose adhesive, and it's this black and white can that kind of looks like the cards that I made. Um, and so yeah, just sticking with the dad puns of purpose and porpoise.
Hey, here's a little something I'm gonna put on the screen right here, man, is, Kajiki. Now he's from Vegas. He moved, to the East
Oh
Coast. He said
yes,
he got connects in Vegas for Decon next year if shipping is needed. So, if anybody's planning on going to Decon next year or presenting that Decon, keep that in mind. Good
yeah,
one, Josh. Thank you, man. That was awesome. Um, dude, so if the door is open next year for you to go to Assembly Required, you going back?
absolutely.
Hell yes, you are,
Like
buddy.
I told Matt before I left on Sunday that it's like as long as this show's happening, I'm gonna be there. That and I'd say right now anyway, it's the only one that I can say is like I will push schedule around to make sure that I can go to this. Um,
Yeah,
that it's so for me anyway, it's the one must attend.
yeah.
Um, and
Absolutely, dude. It's
like
32. It's a room full
the
of 32 fantastic artists and great tables and
yeah,
great
the show
people.
itself is great. The people like getting to meet like Death and Strawberries and Ocular Rhombus and fucking Pocket Salsa and like Kajiki and Tone Tone and we talk to each other all the time
Yeah,
and like picking each other's brains and like to actually get to sit down and talk about non-toy things, talk about projects that we're thinking about, collaborations, this and that. Um, that is that's like right at the very it's like the show itself and the people are right at the same level. So
yeah.
um, yeah, and
It was a great time, man.
yeah,
It was a really good show. I think it was even better than last year. I think some,
I agree.
and you know what's funny, dude? Even just in like social situations, right? Like I think last year where you're kind of meeting somebody for the first time, and then how good it feels to actually see that person again the next year under the
Yeah,
same circumstances, dude. And I think next year will be the exact same thing, man. It's going to be a freaking blast. Uh,
totally. Like totally,
anything else
totally,
you want to get
totally.
out there, man? You got so your store is
Um,
The store's good, right? Store's good to go.
I think so. So I think so. I had been meaning to get this done, no joke, like fucking months ago, months and months ago, because I gave up on Shopify, because I don't. This isn't really a business. This is like if this was a business, I could justify the increased rates that they just did. It's like
Sure.
36 or 40% that they raised their rates, and I was just like, eh.
Oh wow.
And so I took that down and rebuilt the site. I self-hosted and built something on my own, and I think it's all functional now. Before I like really blast it out that it's out there, somebody could maybe run a test on it just to make sure it's all functional. But everything's up there. All my AR leftovers are there.
Nice.
And the couple things I put on like an automatic sale, and for it's just flat rate shipping. $10 US, 15 Canada, 25 overseas. And for US, I think I forget what it's set to go free shipping at a certain point. I forget what I set that at. So, but I'll have to double check that. And it should, yeah, everything should be working. But if you try something and it doesn't work, just shoot me a message and let me know. And if it also says that it doesn't ship to where you are, also send me a message. We can work something out behind the scenes or something.
There it is. General Porpoise shipping to the moon if you so choose.
I'll try. I sure will try.
Dude, thanks for coming in, man. It was absolute blast hanging out with you again, man.
Yeah.
I look forward to doing it again next year. And all the interaction and conversation we have in between, dude. I appreciate you, dude, and thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, man. You do a fucking ton for all of us, and so so it goes without saying, but it shouldn't go without saying that like we all owe you like a great deal. So thank you very much for everything, and
It's a pleasure,
Matt,
man.
like you, Matt, Crumbs, like all you guys, like it's sometimes a thankless thing, but want to know that we do think very highly of it.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. And like I said, man, it's a blast. I would do it over and over and over again. And can't wait to do it again next year, man.
Right on.
Right on, buddy. Get in there and buy some stuff from General Porpoise, everybody.
Please. All right.
Thanks, dude.
Good night. See ya.
The Porpoise. Get in there and look at some Porpoise stuff. It's phenomenal, man. I mean, you've seen it online, and then when you see it, just a whole pile of it, and some of his new stuff was just insane. Really, really cool stuff. Cool Cat, you ready there, buddy? I see you messing around. You ready to go, Grant? Thumbs up for Grant. All right, here we go. Ba, 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 ba. Bam.
Yo,
What's up, kid?
what's up, man?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm hanging in there. Yeah, getting rest.
Yeah.
Figuring out what to do next and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice, dude.
Coming down off that high.
Yeah, right. That's funny that you say that, dude, because I think a lot of people are just, running on just almost pure emotion at that point. I mean, you get out there, you travel, and whether you flew in or you drove in, whatever it is, you're dead ass tired when you get there. And I'm sure after you set up for the first day of the show and just interacting with everybody, it's just so draining. But then again, you're like, man, this is so cool. And you don't really have a time to, catch up on everything until you're back. And you're probably in that stage right now, I would assume, huh?
Yeah. Staying up till 3 a.m. the morning of the day we were supposed to leave. It was the first time I did that because I just wanted everything done that morning, which I still did not have everything done.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, if you're like me and you don't have a lot of like a friend group in person, in your area, and then you just spend all weekend talking to people,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's it's exhausting for me because I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
So
And you're right, dude. It's just, I think, this community is so small as it is. I mean, it's growing, of course, but then you get in front of people that are really passionate about the same things you are, and it's kind of overwhelming. So, now was this your second year or third year at the show?
third,
Third year.
it was my
Um,
fourth year attending, third year displaying.
Gotcha. Fourth year attending, third year displaying. Um, what was your biggest takeaway from the show, man? I mean, let's start with positives. Because there's probably not very many negatives, if any at all.
There's no
Um,
negatives I can think of,
yeah, exactly.
besides exhaustion.
Right.
No, man, it's always just almost words can't describe, how much of a great time and what it means to me to go and have uh this show in my home state, in a awesome city. Um, and I've grown up with a sister, that we're very close, but it's like when I come to these shows, it's like I'm surrounded by older brothers.
Yeah.
It's almost to that point, or it is to that point that I feel like I have brothers now,
Yeah.
and it's such a release because it's still a very niche scene that we're in, and not a lot of people, hardly anybody gets what we do, and all that really goes into it. And what I find great about it is that most of the people that you're talking to know exactly what you do and all that goes into it. So you have that mutual respect. Because
Sure.
you just people ask you what type of art you do, and you don't know what to say, and you're like, I make art toys, and then they're like, glossed over. But when you
Yeah.
go around and talk to all these other artists, they know exactly what goes into that and everything. So
And then you show them
yeah,
that,
that's the
and they're
dude
like,
right there. Where's his skirt?
"What's that?"
Where's his waist armor?
It's it's in the box. It's sitting right in front of me.
He looks naked.
I know, right?
Uh,
Um, dude, that's an incredible piece. How many of those did you make? 3 or 4?
three of the green tea ones, five uh black and color swirl one offs, and two painted ones, two painted and swirled ones, and the five bludgeon inspired ones.
Got it. Now
So I
you're
had like a total of 15 or something that I brought.
wow, okay. So, and your leftover sale, is that tomorrow? That's tomorrow, correct?
That is tomorrow at 10. Yeah,
Tomorrow at 10 o'clock p.m.
Eastern. Yes, Eastern time.
Gotcha.
Yep,
Uh,
it was. I was super blown away. This is the first in-person show that Bushikoi was at.
mm,
So just the response on him was astounding to me. It really flattering. It's all weekend. I was just getting left and right that this is a really cool figure, and I was constantly telling people because I don't know what to say in those in those
yeah.
circumstances. I'm like, thanks,
Yeah.
but I don't know what else to say, and I just talk about it took me a lot of time to sculpt and do. A whole month of not having a release, which was not good on my wallet. But I think
Yeah.
he was worth it. I know he was worth it now because everybody who checked him out really seemed to uh, dig him and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm glad Assembly Required was its first in person show. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Now, when you go out there, man, you usually go out there with your family, correct?
Hmm.
Who are probably some of the best people on the face of this planet, and I stand by that, and it's reinforced every year when I talk to them, man. But um, does that kind of make it even more special to you, man, when you don't see that a lot? And I know it's because a lot of people, their parents live in a different place. A lot of people are older, and it's so maybe their parents aren't really into supporting that way as far as in person. Um, how does that affect you, man, when your family is so positive and they're so nice to everybody and they're very appreciative? For you being a presenter, man, um, that's got to be encouraging for you on so many levels.
Totally. I mean, I can't ask for a better support system in my life. I I remind myself how blessed and thankful I am to have them. Uh, us be so close as as an immediate family, and so supportive of something so kind of weird at first. And when I told them, I sort of maybe think I can do this as a career because my friends who are in the industry are telling me that it's possible, and this is all I really think I have going for me.
Yeah,
They didn't hesitate to be like, hell yeah, that we're supportive in for you and everything. They didn't bat an eye when I started buying pressure pots. And everything like that. So yeah, they're really badass folks, and their support just means the world to me. And the fact that they can show up to the shows that I go to, and people aren't, or at least most of the people aren't like, oh, this kid's with his parents, that's super lame. But you actually talk to them and have conversations with them. And my mom's a social butterfly and everything, so she loves
she's
it,
the
and
best, dude.
she
Her mom.
feeds off of that. And and we started going to Asheville because of Assembly Required. It, Asheville's got a weird reputation on the East Coast of North
Mm,
Carolina. Certain people don't vibe with it, and
mm,
I grew up hearing about this, and then I go and I'm like, this is the best place in North Carolina, or at least my
yeah,
second favorite place.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's they get to live vicariously through what I'm doing in the toy scene, and they get to have fun at these locations that shows are at and stuff like that. So it's super dope.
yeah.
They they've let me come through the house with dye on my hands, and I've ruined some like cups that we have because I have resin on my hands or whatever. So
Yeah, it happens.
yeah, yeah, I owe them everything. And I wouldn't be doing any of this shit if they were like kicking me out of the house or anything, because
Yeah,
I'm about
yeah,
to turn 24,
yeah.
and this is my job. So yeah, they're super cool. They're super cool.
What was your
I'm constantly telling people. They were asking me at the show, like, who do I need to talk to? And they didn't get to talk to everybody. Like, they didn't get to talk to Ernie and
yeah,
Max and certain people, but they just they love learning everybody's names and their backgrounds and everything. And they actually usually end up learning more about my friends than I do because they're talking to them so long. Yeah, it's super super cool.
that's funny, man. What was your just in one sentence, man, or even one word, what was your favorite part of the show this year?
Uh, I'd say the first thing would be the reception on Bushikoi. I mean, uh, sometimes I'm like, okay, these people are just blowing smoke up my ass, but it was as an artist, when you make something, you spend a lot of time on it, and you try to make sure it's right and everything. You spend the time, literally days, looking at the parts that you sculpt and thinking about how you're going to cast them, or or mold them, and that's a week in itself.
Yeah.
And then it's finally all done, and the people are like really grabbing onto it, like more than I thought they would be. That's makes me know it's worth it. Second thing, not to be cliche, but is the people. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
if I went and didn't make any money, or if I even went and I didn't display, the people, the folks that I get to see, um, I've said it before. It's like a family reunion each time, and it really means a lot to me to be with people that really I vibe with. Um, come from a lot of the same walks of life, and even a lot of different walks of life, but you have a lot in common, and
Yeah.
you can just talk constantly and not get bored of it and not get tired of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, just the people, man. And I can't thank Matt and his family enough for putting the whole thing on.
Yeah.
It means the world. It really does.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Well, I got the bottom ticker going, dude. You got 15 exclusive AR pieces on sale tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern at CarolinaCoolCat.com. They can find that link in your website.
I just saw that you plugged Caitlin's page.
Yeah,
So nice,
dude. If
dude.
you guys are looking for, I surfed that page, dude. There's some good stuff on there, man. I don't travel back there except for AR, but if anybody is looking for any type of travel, if you're into food blogs, I know a lot of people are into food blogs, but if you're in that area, check out that link that I put up there on the bottom ticker. That's Grant's sister. Just a sweetheart, man. And she works hard and goes to these places and does reports on these foods in North
She
Carolina.
puts a lot of time and energy into it, and yeah.
I bet, man. And and I think that goes back to even what General Purpose was saying, dude, is how the show was so smooth. It takes a lot of damn work, man, to make something like that work smooth, as does a website or a food blog or whatever it is, man. So just dedication all around, passion.
I have to agree with. I was going to say this earlier and I forgot, but it was the smoothest year for me too, and I realized.
Yeah.
It was my third show at AR. It was technically my fifth show, if you include the two I go to in New York each year. But I
Yeah.
just felt completely relaxed.
Yeah.
I wasn't worried about anything like I was in the past. Transactions went through smoothly. I was talking to Matt about how I think working in the restaurant industry for a short time ruined me for a bit, because I was just like ingrained. It was ingrained in my head to get through a transaction quickly. And I'm
Sure.
like, that's not what the show's about. You're supposed to talk to the person,
Yeah.
tell them the backstory behind the piece, and if they don't know it. And this year, I really reminded myself just to slow down, record the transactions, especially the cash transactions.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't kick myself when it came to tax time. Um, But yeah, it was super smooth. I was completely relaxed. It was, I felt very spoiled the entire time. That's what I was telling Pikmin when we were saying our goodbyes. I felt very spoiled. That would be the synopsis. One word I would say is spoiled.
Yeah. Well, it's good, man. And I think, and Grant, honestly, bro, like you absolutely deserve it, dude. Your work's phenomenal, man. I think everybody that's there is a huge fan. You can tell you had traffic at your table the whole time, and people weren't just coming by and going, "Oh, that's cool." They're standing there and they're talking, and they want to find out and they want to buy. And it's awesome, man. It was really cool to see you, dude. I hope that you'll be there next year. I will definitely be there next year.
If I'm not there next year, I'm dead. I'm off this earth if I'm not there. Okay.
Don't say that, man. You'll be fine, dude. We'll see you there for sure, dude. But
yeah.
Like I said with Porpoise, dude, I'm looking forward to this coming year, man, and seeing what else you got. What else you got in there? And
I think I have some bangers coming.
I'm sure of it. I am sure you do, dude. We will be in touch for sure, Grant. Thanks for coming on, man. And like I said, dude, congrats on another phenomenal show. And we'll be in touch for sure, my dude.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah, right on, man. Take it easy. Tell your mom I said hi.
I will. Bye.
Oh, man. You know what's funny, man, is I think the sentiment towards Grant's family and Grant's parents, I think everybody would say the exact same thing, man. That's no exaggeration. But the support that he gets from them is super, super cool to see. Um, he's a young man. He's 23 years old, and his family is pushing him in the right direction, and just being very supportive of what he's doing. And I think that is, what a great breeding ground to to push his work even further. His work is incredible. I mean, if you those Bushi kois they're nuts. They're crazy good, and he said he's got some more bangers this year. I would fully believe that. Death and Strawberries. I'm looking at you, buddy. You're coming on right now. Let me get your ticker up, bud. There we go. Death and Strawberries. Here you go. I couldn't tell if that was a mask. That is not a mask.
This here is the sign that I was supposed to have at Assembly Required, and it just showed up in the mail yesterday. So,
well, it looks great. It looks great for next year.
Yeah, I thought that'd be funny.
Oh man! So what's up, big dog? That was so. This is obviously not your first live event because I've seen you at DCOM, but your first AR. Give it to me, man. What's your take?
First time flying to a show and having to make some hard decisions about what goes in the bag and what stays at home.
Yeah.
And a couple mistakes along the way there too. I brought all my stuff to do, wax carving demos, which is kind of my thing. And then I forgot the power cord to my wax carver, and so I couldn't really do a whole lot. But luckily, everybody just wanted to talk anyway. I don't think that was something, I didn't have a whole lot of time actually to work there.
Yeah. And
that was something definitely that was different for me. It was very interactive, lots of people coming through, lots of questions, and I love that stuff. So it was fun.
Yeah. Give me a comparison, man. I know that your DCOM booth was just completely different, man. You had Kerfloss there, and you guys were doing displays, and it looks like in that booth you're very busy, and it's a little bit of a different setup, right? Because you have that table in front with the display, and then you guys are kind of behind that doing the wax sculpting. And this one, even though it's only a matter of feet, you're a little bit more up close and personal, I would say, I guess, with someone coming right up to your table.
Intimate.
Yeah, intimate for sure. Number one, are you coming back next year?
I'd like to, and actually, Kerfloss is very interested too. So we're going to talk about it.
Oh man, that would be amazing.
Yeah. I have to give a shout out to Mothman Prophecies. He's the one that kind of drugged me there and said, let's share a table. And I took the leap, and he was very, very kind in helping me through some of that process of, getting the table and getting everything set up, how to get an extra badge and all that stuff. So big shout out to him. It was super, super nice to hang out with him and meet him finally. His work too. Oh my God, it's amazing. That guy does some really, really cool sculpting. So it was cool to see that up close, and he was actually working with clay there and stuff like that. So that was huge.
That's awesome.
But I'd like to come next year for sure. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it sure was, man. Besides leaving the power core, dude, what do you think your biggest challenge was this year, just presenting at the show?
Honestly, for me, it was just being me and not part of Wax Lab guys or whatever. It's
Sure.
like, well, who am I? What am I doing here? So we kind of split the table. You saw it. We had a little bit of the wax sculpt and the armatures and all that kind of stuff, and a little bit of my stuff with the little alien guys. So I'm still trying to figure that one out, I guess, figure out who I am as an artist and where I want to go, what I want to represent. But it was a good kind of stretch my legs that direction. So that was it.
When you see other artists at shows like that, Decon included, is that something that you're kind of picking up on as far as layout of a booth, or even maybe what the artist is doing, man. Do you take any influence from that at all on what other people are doing, or is it just more of a feel for you? Like, um, right now you're doing a lot of the wax stuff, the wax sculpting. But seeing everybody else, man, like take Ocular Rhombus, and you see 200 one-offs that are pretty much kit bashed and repainted and very customized. When you see something like that, man, does that make you want to get into that area at all, or are you still pretty honed in on your wax work?
This is my problem, is I want to get into every area.
Yeah.
Absolutely, dude. And yeah, Ocular Rhombus, that booth was mind blowing, dude. It was nuts. And yeah, I definitely take notes when I'm looking at other people's displays and stuff. Resin Blood with his shirts. Wish I'd have gotten one. I totally wanted to get one, and I totally forgot about it. We were just just so
Sure.
I'm gonna have to hit. I'm hitting them up later. This is a little hint. I want one, Eddie. But yeah. So that's something that's on my mind. We've been talking about doing some merch stuff. Well, ever since you mentioned it, honestly. So that's in the back of the in my mind. And then at Decon, did you see Barbarian Rage, his display?
I
He had
did.
that big paper mache like mountain thing, and that was pretty rad, dude. And that definitely stuck in my brain.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, and I think that's it, man. Is you kind of have to stand out a little bit and be a little different. I say that as like I just had some generic stuff on the table this year, but that's what I'm thinking is like those are the ones that are memorable. Something that's different, that stands out. It's in your face a little bit, but it's something unique and cool and speaks to who you are as an artist. So yeah, I'm thinking that way.
Yeah,
See what
that's
happens.
awesome, man. If you could use one takeaway from the show, man, and just, kind of like I did with Grant, in one sentence or one word, dude, what was your biggest positive takeaway from the show? Was it just presenting or meeting everybody, or maybe a combination of it all?
I guess if I was boiled down to one word, I'd say like a community.
Yeah.
It was one of those, like, it was, you and I had talked in the DMs afterwards, but it was like summer camp where you like get to hang out with all your friends and like goof off and do fun stuff together. It was this strange deal. I brought my wife along as well, and she is not in the scene, but she got along with everybody and was hanging out and like really enjoyed it, all the people in the scene. So for me, that was like confirmation that like, okay, it's not just me being like super into the toys and stuff and the sculpting and all that. It's the people, and they're fantastic artists, and we all have this like-minded vision, and it's really fun to hang out and bounce ideas off each other. So that was definitely the highlight for me.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. And you know what's really cool, man, is as I'm asking everybody these questions tonight, I think there's a very obvious common theme to everybody's answer on what the best part was, and it's the people. It's not making money. It's not buying stuff. It's hanging out with people that you've been associated with for the last year or however long it's been, and you haven't met them in person. And then actually meeting them in person and hanging out with them, whether it's just at the show or having a conversation or afterwards or whatever it is. But it turns this, toy thing into a whole different thing. And that's where, I started thinking, hey, man, this is pretty much like a vacation. You're going on vacation with a friend, and you're either spending money because that's what you do on vacation. And usually your vacation doesn't pay you back a whole lot of money. But there's other things that you do take away from a vacation that make it very worth it and memorable. And I think that's exactly what AR is, man.
I think too, it's a strange thing to like meet somebody and hang out and talk like online and stuff, and then to actually meet them and then realize, oh, they are really cool. Like that wasn't just a front. Like, it's very, very cool people to hang out with, people I would totally hang out with in person. So that was a big relief, honestly. Like, you never really know until you get to meet somebody and hang out. Like, okay, they're cool. They're cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I would think,
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I can't think of somebody that like isn't cool that I've met so far. Like everybody is just like, mind-blowingly cool, so fun
Yeah.
to hang out with. Like it's just an awesome scene.
Yeah, and I think probably for you, man, you probably know better than anybody, but I would think that anybody who meets you for the first time, they just go, "Damn, dude, you are really tall."
That never happens.
Probably their first takeaway, I would think. But
I get that occasionally, yeah.
yeah, exactly. So definitely going back next year. If Kerf got out there, man, that would be amazing. If you guys did some sort of wax lab thing out there or just presented on your own, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I think too. We were talking, but some sort of demo type situation, that's usually pretty fun. And if we can get the group involved somehow, we'll see how that goes. But that would be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, man. So I got the bottom ticker going there, dude. You got your AR-24 pieces are available now.
Yeah.
Identity Crisis. They're going to be $40 blanks, $50 painted loose, $60 carded, free shipping in the USA. And those are on your site right now.
Yeah. I just did a post on Instagram.
Nice.
I guess an hour before the show, so they're up there. Yeah, hit me up if you want one. And yeah, I got a bunch of other stuff in the works. A couple of online shows coming up, so I think they're going to be fun. Hopefully other people enjoy it too.
Yeah, nice, man. So that was my next thing I was going to ask you was what do you got coming up in the immediate future?
Yeah, we got Dimension X Toys, his TMNT show coming up. I'll be in that, and
nice.
Then also have the Apocalypto. I'll be in that one as well. And then I've got my eye on the GI show as well. That
nice.
We'll see, but there's some big plans there. I don't want to talk it up too much in case it doesn't work out. But I'm pretty excited about that one. We'll get you into it. Brian. You're gonna dig it this time.
You know what, man? There's been people chipping away, dude, and I'm almost there. I'm almost more into the whole, not like characters specifically, but just into the whole thing, man. It's G.I. Joe is something else, dude. There are some hardcore people out there, but it goes back to what we were just talking about, man. Passion for whatever you're doing, whether it be a medium or a franchise or whatever it is. But just seeing people with either doing stuff or creating stuff or having shows around stuff and just being passionate about it, man, I think that really draws a lot of other people in. And your enthusiasm, dude, seeing where you came from, just came into the scene, man, and just like with zero wax sculpting experience at all, and then just getting a little bit here and there, and now look at you, dude. You're presenting that AR, and we're talking about what a great freaking time it is, and hopefully coming back next year, and growing as an artist, growing as a fan, and it's cool, man. It was really, really cool hanging out with you, dude. It's always cool seeing you. I'm always amazed at your stature, but that was a fun time, man. I really hope to see you next year, dude. Is there anything you want to get out there besides your pieces that are available now before we get going?
No, I think that's it, man. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that was so graciously kind to me over the show. Like I had a lot of people helping me with things. Had some rides given, some beers purchased, and things like that. So thank you very much. I definitely had a good time, and looking forward to doing it again.
Nice. Right on, man. We will definitely be in touch, dude. And congrats again on that show, man. It was freaking awesome. I think you killed it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's just always good to see you, dude.
Same.
Right on, man.
Take care.
Take it easy. Boom. Death and Strawberries. There it is. Now, if they can get something going next year with Kerf, that would be really cool. But Death and Strawberries work, man. That's like I said, seeing an artist go from just kind of being a fan and kind of asking questions to doing live wax sculpting displays. It's really, really cool to see, man. And great booth again this year. And looking forward to seeing them next year, and hopefully maybe at DCon in Vegas. So Next on the list, man, I see you back there, blue shirt. You ready there, buddy? Vomiting Droids in here. We got Vomiting Droids, Plastic Vomit Customs, and Pocket Salsa to round out the night. And then we got that Phantom Light giveaway. So don't go away, anybody. We're going to go through this Phantom Light giveaway pack before we give it away. It's freaking phenomenal. You guys are going to be blown away. You're on. Oh, come on now. No hat? Don't tell me you didn't keep a hat for yourself.
Tonight is serious business. I have a list of topics to discuss. So we'll dive right in. Number one, I don't know who saw this. I hope you were paying attention. Hanno Doom's Waffle House sign. She made that, displayed it on the table. That was amazing. Just perfection. Okay, that's topic number one. Topic number 1.5. I feel like after hearing Cool Cat talk, I wonder if maybe we could let his parents be our adoptive parents at shows. Like, we need someone to give us a little, you're doing a great job, kid. You know, I would love that. Anyway,
do it.
Yeah, I think it would be amazing. I would love an adoptive parent to really like build my self-esteem while I'm there. Like, you're doing a great job, Vomit. I'm so proud of you. It would feel good. Number 2, because that was 1.5. Topic 2, the groupie situation. I mean, Matt did a great job. When I pulled up in the limo, there were, just the like throngs of men and women yelling Vomit. He really controlled the crowd. I felt very safe. I didn't feel threatened. I did get some phone numbers, but I didn't pursue it because I'm a gentleman. I'm married with children, so that wasn't going to happen. But I really think he did a great job organizing the security around the event. Number 3, I ended up kind of being the entertainment organizer a couple times, putting together brewery outings, and no one paid me for that. I feel like I deserve some kind of, like, I got us together at times at different breweries. Shout out to Burial Brewery for hosting us on Sunday night. They did an awesome job and they had great beer. Actually, I think next year, for those who go, I think it would be awesome to try and organize like a brewery that could host a lot of us. We just kind of threw it together, like whatever we could. And it worked out well for like the small groups that we got together. But like, there's so many of us, like getting like a brewery to host us Sunday night as kind of send off. Okay, number 4 is a really serious topic. And I actually think your show is really helping with this. It's the AR come down. It is 4 days. I mean, I was there Friday through Monday. Is that 4? I can't count anymore. But like, just having an amazing time with all these people, like just nonstop talking toys, talking jokes, talking fun, going out, having dinner, selling toys all day. I mean, some of you know, I arrived home at like 8 a.m., went home, changed my clothes, and went to work that day. Just a fun crap. Just
maniac, dude.
What's
wrong with you?
A fucked up way to do it, man. But it's tough to like settle back into reality and be around like my normal coworkers who have zero interest in how to do a weird mold or what they're paying for resin or something. It was rough. I miss you guys. I miss the conversations. I miss you nerds. Number 5. For people who did buy a hat, there is poison in the dye. I apologize. You're probably going to die in like 2 months. It's a slow process, but you'll be fine for at least 1 month. Number 6, the people who came was just amazing. I mean, and this ties into my number 7, which is validation of my art at Assembly Required. A couple people actually came to the table and were like, I came to buy a piece from you. I don't think they were all like toy makers. Some of them were just people. There's a funny story about how this world connects. My friend Zach, who was selling toys, has a band called Low Cunning. Dustin's shop, Earth to Kentucky, has some Low Cunning tapes. A kid came to my table and looked at the buttons I made and said, hey, I came all the way to get one of these buttons. I'm like, that's awesome. And he saw a Low Cunning tape on the table and he said, hey, I bought one of those tapes at E2K. And I pointed at Zach and said, that's him right there. And the kid's jaw just dropped. He was like, what? Just a funny connection there. But like, I mean, everyone who came by the table was so great, whether they bought a piece or didn't buy a piece. There were great people who just were just there for the spectacle and wanted to know more. Like, what? You're vomiting droids? What does that even mean? I don't know. It's just my name. But yeah, the people were great. That's all my topics. So we can go to your questions now.
I have 0 questions, man. You stole the show. That was excellent. I'll see you later.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I tried to put some little tidbits on the ticker there for you. You like the Cubs.
Oh, yeah.
Your hat was probably my favorite thing at AR. Acid Wasteland Forever. Articulation is overrated.
100%.
I also had to drop a note about our discussions about constructions and regulations that we really don't know anything about. But when we talk about those things, we sound really cool and smart. And that's why those conversations continue. And I'm, I need to talk to you about some spectrometer readouts on the girder belt there for the high rise on the dolly flip.
Oh, is this low meridian or high meridian spectrometer readings?
It's mid but getting high.
Okay. Do you know what base rate the steel is?
I don't, man. It was one of those ones that was it had the fluctuated what they used to call it like a galley pin.
Okay.
And now it's called I think it's called like a foot brake now. I think they actually went to like the European standard on that.
Yeah, you're in California. You guys use a much modern system than we do. We're still on the dirt style. It's just like old, rotting. We really need to upgrade here.
You guys are backwards. Oh, what it is? It's the retrofit earthquake that we use. That grade at least.
Well, you live in California. You have a lot of earthquakes, dude. Be safe.
Yeah, that's true. Also, thank you for providing me your career stat line.
Oh, yeah.
That was something. I had trouble finding that online. But dude, over 10,000 at bats. Wow. I did not know you were around that long.
But seriously, I just like it is bootleg summer camp. Like I actually I kind of wish at the end of the weekend there was a yearbook on Sunday that I could go around and have everybody sign in the back and just be like, great hanging out with you. Take care. See you next year. I don't know. I mean, it's the one time a year that I'm totally surrounded by people who think like me, who talk like me, who do the art that I do on their own styles. And that's intense on so many awesome levels. And I can't say enough how much that means on the scale that he runs it. Like it would be amazing to scale it up even more and go to a bigger venue, but I imagine that's going to be a process and it's still going to be pretty intimate and amazing. And I appreciate every single one of you people that I got to talk to, and so many people I didn't get to talk to. Yeah, not enough time.
Dude, talk about your zine real quick.
Oh yeah, so the zine, that's I have I think about 30 copies left. It's got interviews with Feigned, Naomi Naff, Titty Bean Toys, who I see in the chat. What's up, dude? And oh my God, who am I? On Kerfloss. And it's got art from Phantom Lake, the mysterious Phantom Lake, who just passed by in the mist. That AR, you couldn't even tell he was there until you were drowning in the murk. And tons of art. I actually think if anybody bought the first one, that was just kind of jokes and whatever experiments and me doing something. I think the design on this one's awesome. I'm really proud of this. It's, I love making toys. I love making things. The zine, I'm just really proud of it. I think it's a step up, and I think there's cool interviews. So I'll be dropping those at some point. There will be more hats for people who want a hat. I'm ordering in small quantities because I'm not someone who likes to have like 100 of a thing around me that I'm trying to sell. So if you didn't get one, just be patient.
Nice. Yeah, I've had a lot of people ask already where they can get one of those. Dude, so you shared a table this year with Low Cunning. Was that his first show as well?
So it was me and Hannah O'Doom sharing.
Gotcha. He was right next to you, right?
Low Cunning really just just one of my oldest friends, loves to support stuff, wanted to come down and check out the scene. Matt was kind enough to let him put some tapes and a couple of things on the table. And I think he loved it. When we left, I sent him some of the group pictures and stuff, and I was like, welcome to the toy scene, dude. You're in it now. I think he had a great time. He loved meeting everybody.
Yeah.
He's been, every time he visits me, we do some toys together, and he's kind of figuring stuff out on his own now at home. And I
Yeah.
think he's going to be doing some cool stuff too. I don't know if it'll be under Low Cunning or something else. I think it'll be Low Cunning. But
Yeah.
yeah.
He's funny, man. He's a funny dude.
Yeah.
What is your in comparison to last year? Now, last year, I know you didn't have a table last year, but I think for me, man, you can definitely see the growth from the show, even from last year to this year. And I think it's probably an echo of what everybody's saying, how smooth the show was. But it really did feel like, man, you just kind of walk in the show and there you are, and then you just kind of go about your business. What was your biggest takeaway from the show in a positive light?
It was steady business both
Yeah.
days. I mean, even Sunday, there was a crush of people kind of towards the end.
Yes.
People still selling stuff. I mean, for the show itself, just easy. Load in was easy, setting up was easy, takedown was easy.
Yeah.
If anything, my really only complaint about the show is that when you're behind the table, you don't have as much time to walk around and talk to people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think I spent most of my time ended up talking to the people I knew. There were a couple times I went up to tables and then got that little social anxiety and ended up
Yeah,
walking away because I was like, I'm too nervous. But yeah, I think the show itself, I mean, if anybody out there's like, hey, I kind of want to try it. I mean, this was my first time ever doing a table, and I had a blast doing it. I was lucky I sold out, but I also didn't bring that much. So saying I sold out's pretty easy when you bring 13 bears. But there was interest from not just toy people, like the people coming through from Asheville are interested in this stuff. I actually keep track of like people I knew who were buying stuff and people who I didn't know who were maybe local or had traveled here or just to see like what. And it was a pretty awesome mix. It wasn't just us toy people buying stuff. It was the locals and people coming in to see the show.
Yeah. Absolutely, dude. And I could see as a presenter how it would be torturous not being able to get out there and talk to people and buy stuff that you want to look at. But that's the other good thing about AR, man, where you're in kind of a smaller venue like that, and it makes it a little bit easier to do that. Did you end up selling out? I think you did, right? Or no?
I sold all the hats. I sold all the tiny bears I brought. I had 2 weirdos when I left, which is probably good. I should probably keep a bagged one for myself for the archive. Yeah, I had plenty of zines, but they sold better than I thought. And I have a ton of button packs. That was the surprising one. I didn't sell a lot of those, but you're there to buy big toys, not small buttons. So.
Yeah. The button packs are great though, man. Those came out really, really sick, dude. They look great.
Yeah. As from an artist standpoint, it was just an incredibly validating weekend that from both spending time with people, from selling things, from talking to customers, it was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I mean, I can't do it as a full-time job, but on the side, for what I can do, this is the creative outlet I needed.
That's awesome, dude. What about next year, man? If the opportunity is there to present next year, you gonna take it?
I would 100% split a table with people. I don't have the stuff to do a whole table, but I would 100% split a table. So,
yeah. Awesome. Final words, man, before I boot you out of here. Any last take on AR? Anything you got coming up? If there is any leftovers, or actually, and you know what, dude, your hats are those are going to be a few weeks, but there are more of those coming.
Correct. Yeah, there'll definitely be more. They'll just be dropping on the site, and I'll give a notice. People will know so they can try and get them. And seriously, this is not like a limited thing. It's only limited in that I'm buying a limited number at a time. But if you want a hat, I will do what I can to get you a hat. So, yeah.
Awesome. My dude, thank you, man, for being a great friend. It's always fun hanging out with you, dude. I cannot wait to see you again. And all the in-between time, dude. I know that some of the bear that I got out there was just freaking wild. You guys got to check Vomiting Droids page to see some of the ones that were actually out there. I'll be probably taking pictures and posting stuff here over the next week or so. But Just incredible stuff, dude. You can still really see the growth in your figures as well. Going from just a UV bear or maybe something with a little bit of a mangled face to the stuff that you had at AR, dude. It's super, super cool to see. I'm very excited about the direction that's going, because I think it's only going to get crazier. If anybody can get your hands on a Droid Vomit Volume 2, it's amazing. There is interviews in there. There's all types of cool stuff. We're going to give one away tonight along with the Phantom Lake pack. So do you have more of the Droid Vomit? I'm sorry, did I miss that part earlier? Do you have more of those?
I've got about 30 more. I will probably drop those in a couple weeks. I'm just gonna let myself come down from AR and de-stress.
Yeah, there you go. And like I said, man, if you guys, once those become available, go get a Droid Vomit. You will thoroughly enjoy that thing. Dude, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate you, bro. And we will be in talks for sure.
Thank you, and be safe out there. All those floods and rains are going to destabilize the concrete you're on, so watch out for that.
Damn right they are.
All right.
All right, buddy. Take it easy. Oh, man. What a great dude. Phenomenal work. The work there was, like I said, if you've been following Vomiting Droids for any length of time and you've seen kind of the progression of those bears, they're only getting wilder. They're only getting crazier. And it was a great table. I think they sold, man, it's crazy to see those tables at the very beginning, and then you go back halfway through Saturday or maybe even on Sunday morning and see what's left. And you're like, wow, a lot of people got some really, really cool stuff out here. So next on the list is Plastic Vomit. You guys ready over there? You guys have been chilling for a long time, man. I feel bad. These guys, they were the first ones in here. I had a lineup going, and they were ready. So here we go. We're going to bring in Plastic Vomit Customs. Let me get to the right banner here. Plastic Vomit. There we go. And there they are.
How's it going?
Good, man. Nice looking hat there, my friend. Dude, so initial take. So this was your first assembly required, correct, for both of you?
This was our first show as vendors for Plastic Vomit, or our customs, as far as the Plastic Vomit customs. Nicole had done some shows, the My Little Pony stuff, like a while ago with her custom My Little Ponies, and I did some shows with just vintage toys, like vintage toy shows, and we actually did a couple shows where we just went and gave away toys. But this is our first show as with our custom figures.
Dude, one thing that I want to let everybody know before we even get started here, man, because I will definitely forget, dude. You guys had a huge bin. First of all, you had a sign on your table that said "Free Toys for Kids," and you had kids walking by, and I saw it, where you would bring out this huge bin of carded figures and just let these kids dig through and take one, man. Where did that idea come up with? Where did you come up with that idea? And what a great way to kind of rope people into just toys in general.
Like, it was kind of weird. There's a thing in our hometown where every first Friday, like the downtown area, kind of shuts down the streets, and they let all the businesses come out and stay open late, and it's kind of like a little small fair, I guess you could say. And we decided, we had a bunch of just toys at first, just random superheroes and Star Wars toys and stuff. And I was like, let's dress up as Star Wars characters. So we'd dress up in Mandalorian costumes or biker scouts, Darth Vader. We have a bunch of different outfits and helmets and shit. And we were just down there, and we first started out just going around with backpacks and giving away toys to kids. And then we decided, we started setting a table up down there and giving them out to kids. And at one point we went to a thing called JediCon and set up there and had a whole table full of carded action figures and tons of carded action figures. And we're giving those away because I bought tons of stuff because I was kit bashing a lot of stuff for a long time before we really started getting into resin printing. So I was like buying tons of figures to like
Yeah.
kit bash with, like hundreds and hundreds of figures to kit bash with. And I just had tons of them. So I was like, I got to the point where I really wasn't using them anymore because we were basically making everything now. So then I was like, well, I'm just going to give some of this away in places, like give it out to kids, try to get kids into like action figures and whatnot. And I just really liked it because, especially when we set up at the convention, like kids are there for that specific reason. Because like whenever we were doing it, like the fair downtown, we were giving out stuff, but like we weren't really getting a lot of. We were getting more like feedback from the parents than actually the kids. And I was like, well, let's start doing it at the conventions because then we know that the people are there for that specific reason. And it's like seeing the kids get to pick out figures and like just the look on their face and like you can tell that like they get excited about it. And plus, like the parents don't have to spend their money buying something for their kids; they get a couple figures for free. So,
yeah, absolutely, man. Now going into this show, what do you think your biggest obstacle was? Was it just traveling there? What you guys brought a ton of figures. You had a really cool glass case on your table that basically just had a couple rows of all your figures, and then you had the rounder behind. And that thing was, I don't know how many figures you brought out there, dude, but that thing was freaking loaded. What was your biggest challenge going into the show?
Mine specifically, I wanted to have like a lot more variety of the stuff I was making. And I told you about what happened. Like a little bit over a week before the show, my aunt died and she lived like 1,000 miles away. And I wanted to go to her funeral. And I'd had a bunch of stuff made for the show. And I basically like had a real quick claim sale and sold all the stuff that I had ready for the show. So that I could like fund this trip that was like 1,000 miles away. It was like 8 hours of flying and 8 hours of driving because it was in the middle of nowhere, like not even close to an airport. And I was gone for 5 days and had to spend a bunch of money. So I basically sold off like all the stuff I made for the show, like the week before the show happened. Then I got back and had to like basically take care of life shit for the first few days I was back. So 3 days before the show, I basically made everything I had within the 3 days before the show. And luckily Nicole had a bunch of stuff ready, so it kind of filled things in. But yeah, basically all the stuff that I made, all was made like within 3 days before the show.
Wow, dude, that's amazing that you were able to pump out that many figures.
It was some late nights for sure.
No kidding, man. Your table looked great. What was the highlight for you guys both out of the show? Like when at the end of the day, when you look back out on it and say, man, AR-24, and what's going to come to mind for you right away?
I mean, I know it's basically the same thing that everybody else said, but getting to hang out with like-minded people that I've talked online with for a long period of time, and just getting to hang out with those people and actually meet them in person, because like we don't know really anybody around us that does this stuff. So it's like you don't really get to talk to people in your real life about the things that you do, really. And like, even if you do talk to people about it, they don't really understand it. They just think it's weird or whatever. So it was really cool getting to hang out with everybody and meet people that I've been like talking to online for such a long time. Like, it seems like I already know these people, like even you. I mean, like, I felt like I already knew you before I even met you. So it's like,
I know, dude. Isn't that weird? Like when you came up, I'm just like, hey, what's up, Jason? You know, just like, it's funny, man. It's when you get to, and that's kind of the part that's crazy for me is you know, talking to people and over, you know, talking to people about anything, and then you meet them in real life, and it's just always it's a little bit different. But it's very cool, man. It kind of adds another dimension to the whole thing. How long were you guys out there for, man? Did you guys spend any extra time in Nashville?
We left Monday morning.
Yeah, we left Monday morning. We were going to stay a little while. We'd actually talked about driving down to South Carolina to go see Toy Federation, which is a big toy store in South Carolina. But
Yeah.
by the time Monday morning rolled around, like we were basically wiped out. And my mom had called and she had been taking care of the kids while we were gone, and she got sick. So we were like, let's just get back home so
Oh
that
man.
we can basically relieve her of her duties.
Yeah. Wow. Now, Nicole, with your stuff, do you your My Little Fluffle account, do you ever intermix that stuff, or is that pretty separate? That is its own thing, and then Plastic Vomit is its own thing. And what I'm getting at is, would you ever like sell your stuff at that table?
If I had some to sell, I would. I'd probably bring it with me, but it's basically a thing of the past now, just because the Plastic Vomit's doing so well.
Yeah. Man, Jason was throwing some numbers at me, and I was like, you guys are a freaking machine. You must have those things going at all times, I bet.
Yeah.
And there's got to be more than one printer, right? I mean, this is not being done.
We got 4.
Yeah.
They're basically running all day long.
Right. That makes sense. I mean, by the volume that you guys are producing, I mean, like you said, the numbers that you told me, dude, you got it's a machine. It's an absolute machine.
Yeah, we've been really lucky with the way things have turned out.
Yeah. Now for your the leftovers that you have, it's nothing different than what you guys normally do, right? You're sticking to the script. There's Facebook posts and there's Instagram posts, and it's all claim.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, basically everything we have left over is already posted up. A lot of it's already been claimed, but there are a few things left over that we have still. Basically, we post the same thing on Facebook and on Instagram, and then as they sell on one page, we just mark it sold on the other page.
Gotcha. Now the clear figures, Nicole, that's your deal, right? The ice, the clear ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are mine.
Gotcha. Yeah, Jason said you've got an Admiral Akbar coming out pretty soon. That lineup that you guys had out there of just all the, I mean, that's a head turner right there, man. I'm sure people come up and are just like, wow, what the hell is that? But Jason, you also told me that you have a new wave of some translucent snow troopers coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, probably let's say Thursday, so probably Saturday. I'll have a bunch of them, a bunch of different colored, like translucent, different colored snow troopers. We got actually a ton of stuff that's like pretty close to being ready. That's going to be coming out in the next week or so.
And I'll have more gummy Ewoks coming up too.
Yeah, she'll have a lot more of those gummy Ewoks, because those actually a lot of people were asking for those after they'd sold.
Yeah, and did those sell out?
They did.
Yeah, those are great, man. Those the gummy bears. If you guys didn't see on Plastic Vomit's page, check those out. There's some gummy bears that came in like the old school gummy bear packs and stuff. Those were awesome. Now, is it so? This is you. You said this was your first show as Plastic Vomit. Have you presented at shows before?
What's that?
Have you presented at shows before, just as you know, separately, or was this your first show altogether?
As Plastic Vomit, this was our first show. Like I said, I've done like vintage toy shows before, but never like my custom work. And she had done like shows for My Little Ponies before. That was like before we ever got together. But as far as like the figures we're making for Plastic Vomit, this is the first time we've ever done a show.
Nice. Well, the table looked great, man. And so next year, if the opportunity is there, man, are you guys coming back next year?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we are. I mean, it's definitely the closest show to us. I think other than that is 5 Points Festival, which we were wanting to go to last year, and just things happened at the last minute where it was going to be like a rush to get down there, and then we were basically going to have like a day to hang out and then turn around and drive right back, and it was like a 9-hour drive each way, and we were like, we don't want to do that because like we had plans to go up earlier, and then stuff happened with the kids where we had to like wait. We were going to have to wait until like literally the last minute to leave just to get up there for a day, and then basically stay that one day and turn back around. So we ended up not going, but we might end up at 5 Points next year too. We're not really sure yet though. It really just
Yeah.
depends on what's going on with life. I mean, we'd
Yeah.
like to, definitely.
No kidding, man.
If not to
that-
set up, at least to like go down and hang out.
Yeah, is that in Brooklyn?
I think so. I forget where it's
I
at.
think it is Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. What did you think about the size of the venue, man? I mean, I think when a lot of people see it, they say, wow, this is really small, but then you kind of get into the show and you see that, like, wow, this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it
because-
definitely was. It was really cool. Like, there was, for the size of it, there was a lot of people coming through, and I think that's what really matters the most. If it doesn't really matter how big it is, as long as you have people coming through. Because I've been to shows, like vintage toy shows, that were bigger than that had way less people coming through there, which I would much rather it be in a smaller place and have it packed the whole time than be in a big space that has like nobody there. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely, dude. I agree, man. And it's funny that you say that, because I think at DesignerCon last year in December, I think, I don't really know what the crowd numbers were, but you could definitely tell that the booths were, especially in the back of the venue, were spaced out really far, and they were just trying to kind of fill some space. But then
Was that a DesignerCon, you said? That's kind of funny that you say that, because we were trying to get into like have a table at DesignerCon, and we had messaged them like 2 different times about it, like trying to get in there. We even messaged them like a year in advance trying to get in there, and they never returned our message, never responded to us. So we were like, whatever. And then I hear it's funny because I told a couple people that, and like you and Dustin, I was talking to about it. Both of you guys both said that like it's weird because they had like empty space there. So it's like I don't know what the deal was. Maybe they didn't get the messages, but like I said, we sent them 2 messages, probably at least a year in advance. One of them, like, tried to get on. Did we get on the wait? Yeah, we were on the waiting list like a year in advance, and never heard back from them. So I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah. So was that something you guys are going to try to do in December when they go out to Vegas? Actually, it's in November.
I have no idea. Being in December makes it the hardest because, like, we've got 5 kids. There's 3 birthdays in December and Christmas. It's like,
wow,
just a bunch of going on all the time during December. So that kind of makes it tough for it being at that time, and like being clear out in Las Vegas. So
yeah, exactly, man. That's it turns into a whole different thing, man, especially with kids and birthdays too, man. I know how that goes, dude. You always got to factor that in there, and then the budget gets really small really freaking quick. But it was a great looking table, man. If you had man, you said that your biggest takeaway was just the people. Were you able to buy anything? Did you
yeah, I'm trying to think. I got one of the like G.I. Joe boa figures from General Porpoise.
Oh, nice.
It was from that G.I. Joe show. I've been wanting one for a while, and I was really glad to be able to get one. I got one in a really cool color too. And I got the Warduke Boba Fett, that one I was talking to you about.
Yeah, Kaji, that's a good one.
Yeah, I can never remember how to pronounce his name. But Nicole got, you want to grab that thing up there? This really awesome Skeletor from Edwin Salsa. Salas, yeah. It's wooden carved Skeletor.
Yeah,
and it's about 18 inches tall. It's pretty big. It's pretty awesome.
Wow. Aren't those cool, man? He had a great booth, dude. And he actually, I don't know if you got a chance to talk to him or not. But
yeah, definitely. I talked to him for a long time, actually.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. I want to get that guy on the show.
Definitely.
Yeah, he actually lives out there in Asheville, but the his table is always really good. Last year his table was set up in the same spot. But wooden carved figures, man, you just don't see that very much. I think probably guys on one hand that are in this community. So Kajiki says his name is a curse. That's funny, man. So what's up next for you guys, man? Do you guys have you got any more shows coming up, or
no shows really?
Yeah.
like we've kind of been busy, like doing things like over, like I said, December is like a really busy month for us. And then this past month, we basically been getting ready for the show. And we've just recently got a 3D scanner where we're going to be able to like start scanning stuff and making our own print files.
Oh wow.
And we've been kind of had this thing on a back burner where we're supposed to be doing exclusive toys for E2K. So I'm really hoping to like get into that. Like we've got the everything designed down, but we have to like we have to figure out how to use our scanner so we can scan it to make the files to like remake multiples of the figures.
Right.
That's one thing. And I actually have another thing going on that there's a YouTuber. I don't want to like tell too much about it first, but you'll see it when it happens. But this YouTuber had gotten a hold of me about making an exclusive toy line for him. And
wow.
But I don't really want to talk about it because I don't know if he wants it known yet.
Yeah, sure.
But you guys will definitely, everybody will definitely see it when it happens. But I'm pretty excited about that because it's going to be a pretty fun thing to do.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That sounds exciting. Well, shoot, you guys are busy coming up, man. That sounds like you guys got no problem staying busy. Plus, on top of just your regular factory that you have of well, thanks for coming on, guys. That was it was super cool meeting you guys in person. I really hope to see you again.
It was definitely a great time.
It really was, man. And I think that's, you know, what you said was key, man. I think it's just a lot of people, like-minded people in the same place. And that's really what makes it fun at the end of the day, whether you're selling stuff or not. But even better when people are into your stuff. And
right.
Questions that Gummy Bear.
Yeah, like we weren't really, we knew before we went, like we knew that like the expenses of the trip, that we weren't really worried if we made money, it was great. If we didn't, it was great too. Like that's kind of the idea we had going in there. Like either way, we knew it was going to be fun. So that's all that really mattered to us.
Yeah, exactly, man. And I think that's a good frame of mind to go into with. I think if you base it all on how much money you're going to profit at the end, whether you're in the black or in the red, I think it's going to be a long weekend for you. And
right.
You're not going to have all these memories that we're talking about now. It kind of gets overshadowed by the money aspect. But I think, you know, just talking to everybody and the friendships and just meeting everybody and the conversations, man, I think that's, I mean, you can't really put a price tag on that. That's worth whatever you paid to get out there. Right. So
exactly.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, man. I'm looking forward to it. You guys.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely, man. You guys keep an eye out for the bottom ticker there. There's some new stuff coming up just around the corner. So keep an eye out for that. Always follow Plastic Vomit and claim sales. They happen. If you are regular, follow them. They happen on the regular, daily, weekly, whatever it is. Quality figures. Quality figures right there. Anyway, thanks for coming on, guys. And it was a blast meeting you. And hopefully we'll see you again this year.
Cool. Peace.
Right on. Take it easy. Boom. Plastic Vomit. If you don't have any Plastic Vomit pieces, get yourself a couple Plastic Vomit pieces. They're very affordable. And when you see those, you're going to be looking at what the top of 3D action figure printing looks like, because that's it. If they weren't cool, I wouldn't have these. And every time I can get my hands on them, they're awesome. They're great figures. They're great people. It's just a really good outlet here in the community. So thanks a lot, Plastic Vomit, for coming on. Make sure you guys are giving them a follow if you haven't already. To round out the night, we got Pocket Salsa. Here you come, Big Buy. There you go. There he is.
What's up?
There he. You know what? I think I only said there he is once tonight, man, and you're the lucky winner.
What do I get? Nothing. It's okay. Oh well. Well, so I got a 1 of 1, so it only looks the same as everyone else's, but mine beams really weird images into my brain when I wear it, and I don't think anyone else's hat does that. So
I missed that version, man. You must have got
Yeah.
that. Must have been like you said. That's a true one of one right there.
every time I put it on, it's like when you rub your feet real fast on the carpet and touch like the door handle, it just zaps me. And then next thing I know, I've got like rare comic book images like beamed directly into my brain from Chicago. So
From Chicago,
from Chicago.
incoming from Chicago, dude. So that was you presented at AR. Was this your first show as a whole?
Oh yeah, first show as a whole. Presenting. It was great. Really nerve-wracking leading up to the day. Mostly because I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
But then, like, I don't know, as I was setting up the table, that just all disappeared. I was like, yeah, good.
What was the most nerve-wracking part for you going out there, man? Was it the product and making sure that you had enough product to sell and getting that all taken care of, or was it just getting out there?
No, I figured even if whether I came with like 10 pieces or like 200 pieces, which is fucking insane, by the way.
Yeah, no kidding.
I was fine because I had invited I'd gotten a hold of Strafe and asked him to send some work. I asked Bootleg Toyco, but life kind of got in the way of that one.
Yeah.
And I had asked Yuckamuck even like, hey, do you want to send anything? I asked a bunch of people. I was like, if you guys want to send anything, I'll put it on my table. And that kind of alleviated my fear of not having enough. Turns out I had plenty. Well, not plenty. I had the exact right amount for me. I had 52 total pieces, and all but 9 of them went. So
I was gonna say, dude, you had a big table or a lot of stuff on there. Then I saw your leftovers, and I clicked through those pictures, dude, and I'm like, wow, you sold a lot.
yeah, I'd actually some people like a lot of people. I don't know if anyone else had this. They like came by and took photos of everything on my table, and then got my Instagram name, and then I got hit up like after Sunday, like maybe 2 hours after the show, and they were like, hey, are you still in town? Do you have this? I was like, yeah, I'm still in town. Stop by. Come by the hotel.
Wow. That's cool, man.
So that happened like 2 or 3 times. So that helped. I also had a bunch of my friend Chris's like Sofubi collection.
Yeah. Right,
His car broke down, and he was like, I need some money. Do you care? I was like, I don't care. Go ahead. I'll put them on my table.
Yeah.
And so thanks to everyone for buying those too. You made my friend Chris about $400, and his car works now.
Excellent. That's the way you do that.
Yeah.
What's your biggest takeaway from the show, man? I mean, I think I probably know what it is, but
Community.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's definitely it.
That's definitely as far as like non-business related stuff goes. Knowing that everyone is actually as cool in person as they are online. Like, as far as business related stuff goes, the biggest thing I learned was maybe, just maybe, have something on the table that says who I am. Like, you know, my name, anything at all. Like,
I'm sure at the end of the day, right? Like that is like John said from Death and Strawberries, right? Like the power cord for his wax carver. Just little stuff like that, dude. I've heard people say at Designer Con, like one of the things that they always forget is like a power strip, right? To plug more stuff in.
yeah.
How do you approach that, dude, when you're getting ready to go to a show? Do you make like a checklist? Is it just like an internal checklist, or are you writing this stuff down like, okay, remember this, remember this, remember this?
So about 3 days before we were leaving, I had everything that I was bringing in a box sectioned out in the sections it was going in, and just by the door. So like I figured everything else like would just be like personal stuff. So if I forget my toothbrush, so what? I can go buy one. If I forget my phone charger, I'll go buy one. But everything for the actual show was ready days in advance and by the door. So I didn't have to think about it and wonder day of if I forgot something.
Yeah.
So and I'm pretty good with things like that. Like preparing to go somewhere or do something, because I mean, years of my life I've spent over the road in a truck.
Yeah.
So I'd be gone from the house for 2 weeks at a time.
Mm.
And it's not like I can drive home to get something if I forgot it for the truck. So like you get good at that the more you do it. And this was no different. It's just toys instead of supplies.
Yeah. You know what, dude? I haven't shown any of my pieces yet, dude. I'm gonna just show one piece real quick. Just real quick. Now, let me give you some. Now, I'm gonna give everybody some backstory. If you're a regular watcher of the show, you might remember this. There was an episode. How long ago was that episode?
I couldn't tell you. It was a while ago.
It was a while ago. And there was some conversation in the chat, and it was going B to the, and then it was just kind of like fill in the blank.
Yeah.
And
it happened tonight.
Oh, did it? I didn't even see
Yeah.
it. What's funny, dude, is like on this, so the StreamYard that I use, I can't see the comments all the time. Like when I switch and I'm trying to do a banner, the comments go away until I click back on it. And sometimes I forget to click on it. And so I see the comments going up. It's like 20, 30, 40 new comments. And I'm like, oh shit, now I'm way behind.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
I can't remember what it was, but there was one tonight. It was B to the something. And it was it was pretty good. Whatever it was, I did giggle.
During that show, somebody had said, you tell the story.
All right, so we were doing dumb stuff, and usually it's innuendo jokes and B to the in name your whatever. But at one point in time, someone had brought up chicken nuggets, and I believe you actually have a chicken nugget, maybe a Healy made chicken nugget.
Yes.
And someone had said B to the nugget, and there it is. There's a B to the nugget.
Unbelievable, dude. This is by Pocket Salsa and the world famous Jimmy Folklore.
It's got the hat and everything.
I carried this in my hand on the plane to make sure that it didn't. I'm sure people were like, what is that? Now, I mean, obviously I'm trying to cover it up, right? Like this, so people don't look at it. And I was wearing the same hat. So people are like, what are you doing? But this is phenomenal, dude. Thank you again for this. Jimmy Folklore as well, dude. This is crazy. Obviously one of my favorite pieces of the show, but that was awesome.
Oh, that made my day. Being able to bring that made the trip worth it. Even if that's all I had gotten to do, it was super funny.
Yeah, it was cool, man. So you will be back next year if they have one next year.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Hopefully, I get like the table space I got this year was surprisingly good. Like I didn't expect to be where they had set me.
Dead center.
And I think it's because I don't need power for anything. Like he doesn't need power for anything. We'll just put him as far away from a light socket as possible. And it just so happens to be the best, like in my opinion, the best spot to be in. Like,
dude, 100%. You are on Main Street when you freaking when you walk into that place. You walk down the little hallway, and then you kind of open up into the room, and you're right there. And last year, One Trick Pony and Barrio Boba had that spot, and it's a phenomenal spot, dude. You are honed in on your table right when you walk through the door.
Yeah, it made me nervous. It was like, oh wait, wow, yeah. First thing everyone sees is going to be the big mediocre pile of bullshit I have. Awesome.
So if someone is out there and they are saying, hey, I think I want to give AR a shot next year as a presenter, what are a couple things that you would recommend that they do before heading out?
Nothing. Like literally, just have your toys and show up and put them on the table. Everyone's gonna treat you great. Nobody's gonna be a dick. There's no, like, you'd expect there to be some type of ego problem with anyone. Nothing. It was great. Make sure you get a hotel. Like, if you can coordinate with other people, get a hotel with people you know are also going to be presenting. That would be my advice. Like, and just enjoy yourself. Like, don't worry about making the money. Like, people will come through and buy stuff. So,
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's really nothing, no advice I could give. Have your name on the table. Don't be me and do a show anonymously.
You just go, hey, that dude looks familiar.
Yeah. Funny story though. Like, first time meeting DT O'Keefe in person, Phantom Lake, or yeah, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I don't know what he looks like at all. I had no clue. So like, first day, there's just this guy. He walks up to my table with a mask on and like spray paint of pink across his eyes. And he's just like, hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, it was like he talked to me like he knew me. And I was like, and that was like one of my first interactions. And I was just like, okay. And he was like, I'm DT O'Keefe. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I have no clue who you are.
Dude, I'll tell
I've
you
never
what,
seen your face.
that was one of the highlights for me, man. For me, I think it's very few, man, when you meet somebody and you know that you're going to be friends with this dude for a long time, man. And DT O'Keefe,
Yeah.
just a phenomenal dude, man. The thing that we're going to give away from him tonight is just, it's over the moon, man. The quality of work is just crazy. But you're right, dude. And honestly, bro, like, I've been talking to him for the last few years. That was the first time I had seen him at all, in person,
Yeah.
online, anything. And
Yeah,
dude,
I've
it's
never
just
seen his
dude.
face.
He's just another dude that's super, super passionate, man. And I think that trip, just like some other people said on the show tonight, was, they go to that show and it really kind of clicks with them. Like, yes, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and this validates what I'm doing. Just by being around all those other people there and seeing people that are, extremely passionate about the same thing that you are.
Yeah, it was nice to meet and be in a room with like people that have the same interests I can actually talk to. The other really cool thing was bringing my wife along. Like, she doesn't get this stuff at all on, like, she just doesn't get it. Like,
With a broken foot, I might
Yeah.
add. What a trooper. What a trooper.
well, I needed someone to man the table that wasn't going to get up. So I broke her foot.
Hey, man. Sometimes
mean-
you gotta do it.
Whatever. Got to do what you got to do. No, that's another really long story, but my dog and another dog got in a fight. She ended up falling over and hurt her foot. Both
Yeah.
dogs are fine. The end. Um,
Cool story, bro.
but yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
didn't actually break my wife's foot, guys. Calm down.
So the leftovers that you got, they are in your shop right now.
They are, as well as a pre-order for leg day Garamons, because I did sell out of those. And I know there was a few people that wanted one. And I told them to wait till after the show, and if there was any leftover, I'd let them know. Turns out there's none left over. So I am taking pre-orders for those on the site. And if you do pre-order one, there's no option on there for colors, but just DM me what colors you want. I'll write it down and I'll make them in whatever colors you want for no extra charge. That is.
There you go.
That's
Yeah,
it
man,
there.
those were sick. I think I was lucky enough to see kind of the full array of stuff that you had there, man. And it was a great looking table, even though you didn't have any signage out there. It was still It was still good, dude. It was a solid table, man, and you can tell by the volume of stuff that you sold. You sold a lot of stuff there, man.
I did. It was also really nice having Kajiki at my table also, like,
Yeah,
and having the him, and he also had Original Cash Brand's Future Retroistic magazine there,
yes.
which I got a copy of. I actually have the rest of them here at the house. I'm going to mail most of them back to Kajiki, but they told me to keep 5 for myself to try and sell, like, at the record store here.
Cool.
But I may just put them on my site for whatever. And so if anyone wants a Future Retroistic magazine, hit me up.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know what that is, it's a super cool magazine. It's got a lot of street art and tagging in it, and then he kind of mixes in toys, from our neck of the woods, man. I think this last one actually has one of Kajiki's figures on the front, and I believe there's a Barrio Boba on the front as well, right?
Barrio Boba, Kajiki. It's got there's one artist I can't remember the name of, and then the Craftsman.
Oh, Craftsman is in there.
Craftsman is featured in there also.
Wow.
So that I've looked through it. It's very cool. Very cool.
Oh yeah, Tone Twisted Tiger said Craftsman. Yeah, the quality of those scenes is super high. Yeah.
Speaking of Tone Twisted Tiger,
yeah,
I have the mold for that helmet.
That's right.
He gave me the mold for the helmet to try out. I'm really excited to do that. So
yeah. Awesome.
Expect some updates with that. And then I don't know how much time we got left, but we talked a little bit about the giveaway question and what piece do you love and is excited. And I didn't bring up anything from the show, but it was Yuckamuk's Divine. It's the Empyrean, Gustave Doré for Dante's Divine Comedy.
That's a great one, dude. You and I actually talked about that piece when it came out. And I think you nailed it when you said that piece is more than what we're looking at.
Yeah.
It's that's a great piece, dude. I love that series that he's doing.
Yeah. And he doesn't know it, but he's going to AR next year too, and he's tabling with me. He doesn't have a choice.
Nice.
I've decided. I'll pay for the table. He doesn't have to pay for anything. He just has to come, because I think Yuckamuk's work is really good, and he should be there and meet everybody and do stuff.
Agreed. So, I mean, you see, some of his stuff his stuff is always good, right, man? I've always been a fan.
Yeah.
I have almost everything that he's ever made. But then these card backs, man, was a real slap in the face in a good way of like, look, man, I'm not just making these little figures. This is a really in-depth figure, and it's really well done. The paint work is really good. The backer is sick. They're always good quality. But yeah, dude, that's a good one, man. And I really like the follow-up that he's done in the last few weeks with the other ones. They're great, dude. If you could get him out there, that would be sick, man. That would be really, really cool.
Oh, if I have to drag him kicking and screaming, he's going. Like it's
well, that's that then.
He's going. I'll caveman Ugg style and hit him with a hammer and put him on my shoulder and drag him down. It's fine.
There you go.
I got this. But I think go ahead. I think what I really appreciate about him and his work though is that it's smart, but he's not a dick about being smart. Yeah. Like he's smart and approachable at the same time with what he does. So
yeah,
that's what I like.
I think what you said, dude, a little while ago, I'm going to backtrack just for a second, but it kind of takes off on that too, is, part of the whole vibe at Assembly Required is just what you said, dude, that nobody's being a dick there. And that sounds real kind of cut and dry. Like, yeah, nobody's there a dick, but you really get this sense that everybody in there is kind of pulling in the same direction, really kind of rooting each other on. I'm not saying you don't get that at DCon, but at DCon, you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of vendors, thousands of people. And so you try to mix in all those personalities. And I mean, like, you're damn right, dude. There's people that I intentionally avoid at Designer Con for that very reason. And it's awkward, and it's just kind of turns it into something. Now it's something else. Now it's not really about the show, and now it's about like trying to not, you know. But at AR, that is, I think that has a lot to do with the venue size, but then also I think, you know, how Matt selects the 32 that are going to be in there.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the whole vibe of everybody, that's got to be at the forefront of, hey, I don't want any of these, you know, egos in here to disrupt the vibe, dude. And I think he does a fantastic job of that, because everybody in there is just super, super chill, man. Like I said, everybody's kind of, you know, rooting each other on and just talking, and it's a thing. It's an event, man. It's not just a sales show. It's an event. It really is.
Yeah, absolutely. I do have some regrets. I didn't get to talk to everybody. Like, and that's my one regret, is I literally didn't get to talk to everybody. Like, I think it would have been better if maybe I didn't table this year and I just went and talked to everybody and tabled next year, because I really wanted to get like some bit of information from every single person that had a table, and you just can't do it. So, and I get that's what the pre-show is for, like on Friday, but not everyone has time to make it to it. So you still don't get to talk to everybody.
Yeah, I slid in there right at and I think that's been kind of the theme for me the last 2 years, is I usually get there about halfway through that pre-show. But it's cool, man. I mean, even that pre-show, dude, like you walk in and right away people are, you know, hey, what's up? How you doing? Nice to meet you. Super cool. So Bliss Receptor says a way that you can get Yuckamuck over there is just break his foot. So
I can break his foot. That's doable. He lives less than an hour from me, and I have his address. I got this. Anytime.
Yeah, look at Eddie's comment right now. I'm going to put that up there.
Well, oh man, I got to play with some nipples while we were there. I believe they were yours. So,
you know what? And I don't even remember that, dude. That's possible, and I don't remember it. I must have been having a great time.
I snuck up behind you and was like, and then dipped out. I didn't say anything, just did that and walked away.
Highlight of the trip for me, honestly, man. Oh man. All right, dude. Well, thanks for coming in, man. Congratulations on that show, dude. I think it was a success. I mean, obviously your sales numbers say it was a success, but even besides that, just getting there and meeting you in person and hanging out, dude, that's really what it's all about, man.
Oh no, I lost money. Like
I did. Okay, overall as a whole, you made money at the show. I wasn't saying that you're in the black yet. You know, you're creeping up there.
I to be honest, I did not make money. Because almost everything I made, I spent. Yeah. Like on experiences, like, because I treat it as a vacation also with my wife. Like, so like we went and did shit around town. The pinball museum is awesome if you get a chance to go to that, by the way.
Yeah.
And then I spent tons of money on other people's work. Like this, don't go with the intention of making money. That would be my advice.
That's great advice, dude.
Just go and have fun. Spend every dime you make if you can. Just do it.
Yeah, no, I agree, dude. And I think that's kind of the mentality for a lot of people, especially after talking to a lot of people on Sunday when it was all kind of said and done, is that you kind of view it as a vacation. And then whatever you sell, you're throwing that back into whatever you're putting out for the vacation. Then your vacation just becomes a little bit cheaper. Now, are you going to break even? I don't know. Do you ever break even on a vacation? No. So that's just the way it is, man. You know what I mean? And then you look back at it and you say, man, what a fucking great vacation that was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll never forget that weekend. So I think I'll come on Thursday next time. I think I'll leave on Tuesday.
There you go, man. We just need to make it a week-long event. That would be the best.
Yeah. We should all plan it. I know Death and Strawberries had talked about felt like summer camp. He had said the same thing to me. And I was like, you know what? I bet with the right investors, we could actually do a bootleg summer camp and make that a thing that people would pay to come see. Like, man,
Yeah, dude, DNS. We were kind of chatting about that the other day, and he said that you guys had already been talking about something, and then the ideas just start flowing, and you're just like, "Oh man, how about this? How about that?" Then you're like, "Oh, dude, that could be really cool. That could be really
Yeah.
cool."
I got an idea right now, and it's how about I let everyone go to bed.
That's a good one, man. We're gonna give away this pack, dude. So I don't know if you got in the drawing or not, but it's gonna be a Droid Vomit Volume 2, and then one of these Phantom Lake Press packs. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, dude, thanks for coming on, man. Pleasure to meet you in person. I'm sure we'll be talking probably as soon as tomorrow.
Hell yeah. Have a good one.
Right on, buddy. You too. Boom. Pocket Salsa, man. Great advice there from a first timer at a show. Some really good perspectives tonight on returners and from Matt, of course, and then people that were there for the first time. So I just realized I don't have the Droid Vomit Volume 2 in front of me. I'm going to go grab that real quick, and then we're going to spin the wheel and see who gets that. We are going to talk about the Droid Vomit Volume 2, and then we're going to go over the pack from Phantom Lake because it's going to blow your mind. I'm very excited to show it to you. So let me go grab that Droid Vomit issue number 2 real quick. I'll be right back. In the meantime, take a look at those plastic vomit pieces. All right. Well, as luck would not have it, I had a different zine in front of me, and it was not the Droid Vomit one. So we're gonna start looking at the Phantom Lake giveaway, and as soon as I find that Droid Vomit Volume 2, let's go to Vomit's page real quick and just see if we can take a look at that. Vomit, if you're still on there, man, can you let me know if Stormico got you, dude? Yeah, no problem. I meant to mention that earlier. But vomiting droids, Aaron, if you could let me know, dude, if you have that on your website so we can take a look at it. I honestly, bro, I don't not know what I did with that thing, man. You know what? 1 second. All right. Still didn't find it. Let's take a look at the Phantom Lake one, man. I'm going to now, if you look at the bottom ticker there is a whole bunch of information there about what we're about ready to take a look at. He has a picture of the package, I think. That definitely wasn't in there, but that's okay. The Droid Vomit magazine, I'm telling you, God dang it, I am so mad at myself right now for misplacing that. I had a stack of stuff right here, and it's not even the right zine. It was there's another little insert zine that comes in the original Clash brand magazine, and that's what I had in front of me. Anyways, let's get to the Phantom Lake. So Phantom Lake, let's take a look at the so the ticker at the bottom, it's actually a pack. There's a whole bunch of different things going on here. So this is the first thing that we're going to look at. And I'll wait for the ticker to catch up because we can take a look at this while the ticker's going. Now this is from Phantom Lake Press. This is a insert or a pack that goes with Droid Vomit Volume 2. It's a deluxe promo only print. It's not for sale. It was originally intended as an artist giveaway with Droid Vomit Volume 2. This is number 1 in a series of 33 limited copies, bagged and carded 8x10 print on heavyweight archival printmaker's stock paper with archival pigment ink. It features UV, we'll take a look at that right here in the eyes, UV reactive underlays, multiple hand punch cutouts, custom color correction film overlay, which is this red here, attached and removable. If you don't like this on here, you can unbutton this and remove that. And it has an embossed signature stamp, which is kind of hard to see over here, but you can, if the light hits it right, you can kind of see this embossing here, which is super slick. That looks really, really clean. That's the print right there that you get. And like I said, this does have some UV reactive, cutouts here in the eyes, and then over in this one down here as well. This is thick. This is heavy, heavy stock stuff. Really, really dark print. Super sick. This is the one that you get. Okay, now this is number 1 out of 33. It is signed by the artist right there. There you go. You can kind of see that embossing right there, which is really cool. But yeah, take a look at that. This is incredible work, man. He does have a little blurb down there about Droid Vomit Volume 2. Damn. Yeah, that is sick. And here's where it gets really crazy. So you do get that print, but here's what else that you get. These are promo pages for upcoming collabs that Phantom Lake has with some absolutely phenomenal artists. Let me show you this one first. God, this is good. Phantom Lake, Fiend, Fane, Terrible Toy Works, Vomiting Droids, and Titty Beans. This is a print that you're going to get. This is a test print. Bam. Super nice there. This is the Phantom Lake page. Also, there are notes down here in UV about the print that were written on there by Phantom Lake. So that is super slick there. Phantom Lake with the Fane right there. Try to take these out carefully. Here's the Phantom Lake Vomiting Droids. Look at that one. Again, UV notes down here at the end. That is super sick. Phantom Lake Terrible Toy Works. Look at that beauty. Again, this is all coming with a copy of Droid Vomit Volume 2. That's so good. And then last but not least, Titty Bean. See the mummy stalker here in the background. That is sick. Also comes with the Phantom Lake button. Nice. And then a office pack of stickers. That's the bonus flip side. Phantom Lake Archive Volume 1 limited promo preview pack for the upcoming collaborations with Fane, Terrible Toy Works, Titty Bean Toys, and Vomiting Droids. So that's all coming in a pack for you. Really nice looking pack right here. I will put everything back in there. Bam. UV reactive test prints, button, and office sticker set. Upon release, the archive project will feature limited run figures from each artist. So I do know the number. I'm not going to say it of how many figures are coming out because I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about that or not. But this is actually a collab with Phantom Lake and all these 4 artists in here, and there will be figures released with these as well. So as soon as that comes out, that is going to be one of the dopest things to come out in this scene for a while. Bam, there's the first page that you get. Again, that's the 8x10 by Phantom Lake, really heavy cardstock. I will post pictures of this later on. So congrats already to whoever wins this thing. This thing's freaking phenomenal, but it does come in a nice pack for you. All right. So let's get to the wheel real quick and see how many we got. I'm going to throw Stormico Station back in there. He came in at the last minute and I did not catch that one. So we'll see what we need to bump the giveaway number up to. Let's see. So we got 30. Nice. 30 entrants tonight. So let's get over to the let's go to the wheel. Do that. Share my screen with you guys. All right. We are spinning for the pack. Number picker. All right. For the Phantom Lake promo pack. Here we go. Good luck. Number 5. Number 5 got in early this time. Who is that? Bliss Receptor. Boom. Bliss Receptor. Congrats, my dude. Yes. I am glad you won this, my friend. I will get this out to you as soon as possible, man. I'm going to have to find a way. I know this is going overseas, so I'm going to have to find a way to really package this thing up and make it so it's indestructible. But congrats, dude. Wow, what a great win for you, man. And what a, dude, awesome. I'm very happy you won that, Bliss. That's about all we got for tonight, man. Next week, we got Dirty Yeti, I believe, is on the show. So we'll take a look at that next week. Let me see if I can find. Oh man, I can't even find my lineup for the next week. But yeah, I think it's Dirty Yeti next week. So that'll be fun. He's a customizer. He does vinyl. Does some collabs with people. I know that he's always looking for collabs as well. But that'll be a really good time. And then next week, actually, we'll probably start taking a look at some assembly required pieces. Didn't do any opens tonight just because we had so many people coming in. Thanks everybody who came in tonight to do an interview. I know it was kind of last minute. I just wanted to get a bunch of people in here and different perspectives on AR. Thanks again to Matt from AR. Phenomenal show. I can't wait to go back next year. And it was a Pocket Salsa says Dirty Yeti has great taste in music. All right, so we'll check that out as well. But thank you guys for coming in tonight. That was episode 91. That's a wrap on that. Episode 92 next week with Dirty Yeti. Everybody stay safe. Have a great weekend. Peace. Go Niners.